down. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are...
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe and, of course, like the video. Give it a like and then share it on at least one of your social media platforms that you have. This is our top of the hour break. About a minute and we'll be live.
954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens
Oh, man.
to Coral Gables. Call toll-free.
Oh, boy.
FLA 3782.
You are listening to
Indeed.
South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE-1. And now...
All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning. My name is Brian Craig. That's right. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. And, man, do we got a lot to talk about today. Steve will be joining us in progress a little later. And, of course, this is the most important Steve Kane Show of the week, because this is not just our live morning show this Friday morning. This is our overnight rebroadcast. You know, we're live in the mornings from 6 until 9 a.m., broadcasting live on AM 1470, 96.9 FM, and 95.3 FM, as well as on the iHeartRadio app and the TuneIn app. Searching for us by our station call letters, WWNN. But we're also on the air overnights, midnight, until 6 a.m., 7 nights a week. And just on our radio stations, I'm not including iHeartRadio, the TuneIn app, all the places that carry the show with and without our permissions. I'm not including YouTube, none of that. Just on our radio stations, the Friday edition of the Steve Kane Show will run a total of 35 times. That's right, it airs 35 times before we return live to you Monday morning at 6 a.m. So we always want to make sure the Friday show is the best, and boy, is there a lot going on today. This story with Matt Gaetz, I'm going to go through that. We got a big update, too, coming up on Mike Lindell from MyPillow, which I'm going to get to in a little bit. But I want to start with this Matt Gaetz story because I'm standing by Matt Gaetz. Before I get into the details of this, I want you to understand this. I am with Matt Gaetz. I stand by Matt Gaetz. I believe Matt Gaetz. And I'll go through the details, which, well, there's a lot of detail in these details this morning, I'll tell you. And there's some crazy stories going on out there about Matt Gaetz. But I believe Matt Gaetz. This story has been out there now. This is, day 3 that this has been out there on Matt Gaetz. And all I'm hearing is innuendos, allegations. I'm not hearing, I'm not seeing any people. I'm not seeing any incriminating photographs. So I am standing by Matt Gaetz. Now, if some evidence comes out that proves that he's lying, which I haven't seen yet, well, then I'll reflect. Then I'll reflect and think and see what's going on. But I don't see anything out there other that shows that Matt Gaetz is doing anything but telling the truth. This is, I was talking about this day before yesterday when we talked about this. We didn't talk about it on the show yesterday at all. But we talked about it 2 days ago when the story first broke after the Tucker Carlson interview. I guess this story broke on Did this story break on Tuesday? Because we didn't talk about it yesterday. We talked about it Wednesday. So this story, this has been going on. We had Tuesday. All day Tuesday, this story was out there. All day Wednesday, all day Thursday. And there's more details on the allegations, but no photographs, no documents, no nothing yet. So I am standing by Matt Gaetz until some evidence comes out that proves that he's lying, and I see no reason not to believe him. But what I was saying when we were talking about this on Wednesday's show is this is the same type of play that they did on Donald Trump with the fake Russian dossier. Okay? It's a very similar thing. Now let me go through this story I'm reading to you from the Daily Mail. The Daily Mail, I know a little left wing over there to Daily Mail, but I like the Daily Mail. Daily Mail is really my favorite place to go to in the mornings for news. I don't go on the air without going to the Daily Mail. I know they're a little left wing in their thinking sometimes, but they got all the relevant stories. And I go to many other places too, but I like the Daily Mail. This is the headline, top story in the Daily Mail, which is the most read English language newspaper on the planet Earth. Revealed, this is the headline, Representative Matt Gaetz paid women via Apple Pay for ecstasy-fueled sex at Florida hotels after being introduced to them by former tax collector Joel Greenberg, who met them on a sugar daddy website. Okay. This thing about Apple Pay, I don't know. You guys know more. I don't know about the prostitution business, okay? But I do know this, okay? People are very tech savvy today. And the younger people are, the more tech savvy. Do young prostitutes now take Apple Pay? How does that work? I use Apple Pay for everything. I rarely have cash. I use Apple Pay for everything that I possibly can. And for those that does everyone know what Apple Pay is? It's Apple Pay. It's in your phone, in your iPhone. You have your debit cards, your credit cards, all kinds of cards right in your phone. It's a digital wallet. And when I go to pay for gas at the gas pump or I'm at a store, I just take out my phone and put it over the little, the little touchpad thing, and I pay right there with my phone. Boom. Don't even have to take a debit card out of my phone. Just pay with my phone. I can do it on my Apple Watch too, but I really don't wear my Apple Watch. But anyway, so it's either a debit card or a credit card you can have in there for ecstasy-fueled sex at Florida hotels. Now this is what I wonder here. Matt Gaetz is a little vulnerable here because he's single. He's engaged to be married now, but he's been single for a while. And single guys date and hook up, and sometimes at hotels. So this is an interesting little wordplay here. Now I'm reading this story. I read the headline earlier, but I have not read the story. I wanted to read the story with you and experience what's in the story with you live on the air. Okay, I do that sometimes. But let me go back to this. It says, Representative Matt Gaetz allegedly paid women via Apple Pay for ecstasy-fueled sex at Florida hotels. Does that mean that he paid women for sex with Apple Pay, or did he pay for hotel rooms with Apple Pay? I'm taking a family trip soon. I'm gonna for a weekend. I'm gonna stay in a hotel, and I'll probably pay with Apple Pay. Right? Like I pay for everything with Apple Pay. So I'm a little confused by that. But anyway, it goes on here. Representative Matt Gaetz allegedly paid women via Apple Pay for ecstasy-fueled sex at Florida hotels after being introduced to them by former tax collector Joel Greenberg, according to a bombshell report about the Justice Department sex trafficking probe. See, this isn't the Justice Department saying this. This is a bombshell report about this Justice Department probe that we've not seen. The damning allegations were revealed in a New York Times report Thursday night. Well, right then and there, when it's the New York Times, you've got to call into question, the story, which cited several unnamed sources close to the DOJ investigation, as well as text messages and payment receipts reviewed by the New York Times. So the New York Times hasn't seen the documents. They say they've talked to Justice Department sources that are close to the investigation. So these aren't even Department of Justice people who are working on the investigation that leaked information. This is like second, third-hand rumor mill stuff. It could be some pundit at CNN who used to be a Department of Justice person who is saying this. Multiple women reportedly told Department of Justice investigators that Matt Gaetz, age 38, would tell them a time and place to meet and how much he was willing to pay them for sex. They would then meet in hotels in Florida, where the lawmaker and staunch Trump ally would sometimes take ecstasy before they had sex, the women said. The DOJ investigation is also reportedly looking into whether one of the women involved with Matt Gaetz was 17 at the time, and whether he paid her or gave her gifts to have sex with him. Matt Gaetz was reportedly first introduced to the women through close ally Greenberg, the former tax collector of Seminole County, who investigators believe met the women through sugar daddy websites. Greenberg is currently in jail, awaiting trial on sex trafficking charges related to a minor between the ages of 14 and 17 across a 6-month period in 2017. So, this is interesting. Okay, so we got a jailhouse snitch here. So we've got this guy, Greenberg, who's sitting in jail, who's awaiting trial. It sounds to me that he's the one who's making all these claims about Matt Gaetz. You know, when somebody is in this position, he's looking at doing hard time, right? Do you think it's possible that he's just saying things to try to make a deal? Because he knows the Justice Department, especially this one, but the Justice Department are definitely interested in bringing down Matt Gaetz, because he is one of the 3 or 4 outside of the Trump family most important MAGA Republicans in the country. He's the most beloved MAGA member of Congress. He's only 38. He's got like 50 years left in him of politics, maybe even longer. Chances of him being the governor of Florida in the future are pretty good. Chances of him being the United States Senator, or maybe even a candidate for president or vice president, Matt Gaetz. He is one of the people that, without question, is the future of Donald Trump's MAGA movement. And this guy in jail, people like this will say anything when they got a big fish and a famous name to throw out there to try to help themselves out. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this, by the way. 888-GO-CANE-1. Okay. Well, let me take a break. It's time for our first break. We'll come back from the break, finish up with this story. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. I am standing with Matt Gaetz. I see nothing here but second, third, vague, unnamed sources making allegations, and a jailhouse snitch who's facing hard time awaiting trial, who to me sounds as if he's looking to make a deal. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Am I the only one who sees similarities between this and the Russian dossier story with President Trump? We'll be back.
Covered AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone.
Welcome everyone. If you're new here, make sure you're subscribed.
954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
And everybody in the chat room, do me this, all right? If you're already subscribed, like the video. That helps a lot. Liking the video is just tremendous so far as getting recommended to other MAGA people on YouTube. And after you like, if you could share the video on at least one social media platform you use, Parler, Gab, even Facebook and Twitter, whatever you got. All that helps.
You will want to
You know,
us to come out and
MAGA needs to stand strong and stand united. Matt Gaetz is the first of many top MAGA people that they are going to try to bring down.
or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood sheds,
That's what they do.
tile systems.
That's what they do. And I find, 3 days into this story, this is all they got.
Period of time to make sure your roof and home is ready for
I mean,
2021 hurricane.
I think if they produce any documents, my guess would be they'll show that he paid for hotels
Our website is
with the Apple Pay.
www.laportacontracting.com, where you will find
That would be my guess.
video and live testimonials from a few of our
That would be
past
my
clients.
guess.
Our number again is 954-604-4602.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for
All right, guys, welcome back. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show. Coming up on 20 minutes after the hour, we're talking about these allegations against Matt Gaetz. I'm standing with Matt Gaetz. MAGA needs to be united, and, Matt Gaetz is going to be the first of many strong MAGA, Trump-supporting Republicans that they're going to go after. Let me take a call or two, then we'll finish up, get some more details on these ridiculous allegations against Matt Gaetz. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Jeff in Maine.
Hey, Jeff in Maine. How you doing?
Good. Hey, I got a question. Why is it always when Democrats get accused, they don't believe their accusers and give them no airtime? And Cuomo has 9 accusers against him. Matt Gaetz has 1. They haven't brought one person forward. I believe they're going to groom her and make up a story, because why hasn't it already come?
Well, okay, they keep saying, okay, we haven't seen anyone. All we have is the jailhouse snitch, right? This tax collector from Seminole County, Florida. The 17-year-old girl they keep talking about has got to be like 19 years old by now. This is they said this has been going on a couple of years, right? And what we very well may find is that she continued this sad life that she was in as an adult, and if she exists, and she's 18, 19, 20 now, and she's facing some charges too. You understand what I'm saying? And she'll say whatever she's got to say to shave time off of her as well. That's what it sounds like to me. She's not 17 now.
That's right.
So I think that's a factor. And another thing is, since we know she's of adult age now, we haven't seen a photograph of her yet. I find that interesting.
Yep. What about Eric Swalwell, who's been sleeping with Chinese, Russian agents, been compromised, not even pulled off his security?
Yeah.
The double standard between the Democrat and a Republican it makes me want to throw up.
Yeah. Well, and look what they did to Swalwell, right? They gave him a promotion, gave him top security clearance, and yeah, I mean, and he was, and that was with a spy from the Chinese Communist Party. I mean, a top spy, and they're still all up in him. They got with Eric Swalwell, that they have videotape, high quality. This isn't like the app scam days. They have high quality, high definition video and audio of every time he got together with that Chinese spy in bed, and that's embarrassing stuff.
And can you imagine what information they got from him, Brian?
Yeah. And you really think that they're not on him still today, Eric Swalwell? Come on.
The good thing about this, Brian, is I believe even Democrats more are going to come to realize how corrupt their party is. They're going to lose more people. They are so desperate to get more people in this country over that border illegally because they're going to vote Democrat.
Yeah.
All about votes for them. It's not about right and wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Jeff. So what are your plans for the Easter weekend?
Oh, go to church. We got a good evening, Good Friday service tonight, and a big one on Sunday. And
what are they doing at the church? Is there like a lot of social distancing and everything? Do they space people in that? No.
What they do is, if you want to wear a mask, wear one. But if you don't, don't. And I think that's the way it should be. In most churches in Maine, that's what they're doing.
Well, what I wonder is, because I've not been to Mass during all of this. My wife is itching to get back in church, and it's very unusual for us not to be in church this weekend, definitely. But I want to know what the Catholic Church is doing about Holy Communion. Because that's the Pope's a liberal. The Pope's a liberal. So I know you're not Catholic, so maybe it's not the Holy Communion's not a big deal. But in Mass, the whole Mass is about the communion, and it's not something I really want to do right now. I haven't been drinking the wine in years. I stopped doing that years ago.
In our non-denominational church, we get a little cup, and then the top, you peel it back, there's a wafer. You peel it back again, and there's the juice. So
yeah, but with Holy Communion isn't a wafer, and it's not wine. It's the body and the blood of Christ, actually is. And there's all kinds of very strict rules on how it's handled, and all kinds of things that go back, hundreds of years. So it's just, you can't order out the body and the blood of Christ. It has to be done. Well, anyway, have a great Easter. All right, take care, man. All right, so let me get back to that's Jeff in Maine. Good guy, Jeff in Maine. Yes. So let's get back to this story. So that would be Matt Gaetz and these so-called prostitutes, would meet in hotels in Florida, where the lawmaker and staunch Trump ally would sometimes take ecstasy before they had sex, the women, plural, said. The Department of Justice investigation is also reportedly looking into whether one of the women involved with Matt Gaetz was 17 at the time, and whether he paid her or gave her gifts to have sex with him. Matt Gaetz was reportedly first introduced to the woman through close ally Greenberg, the former tax collector of Seminole County, who investigators believe met the women through sugar daddy websites. Greenberg is currently in jail awaiting trial on sex trafficking charges related to a minor between the age of 14 and 17 across a 6-month period in 2017. See, that's the one I was telling you about. You got this jailhouse snitch who's awaiting trial. He's got a famous, well-known friend and Trump ally. Is he just making allegations against Matt Gaetz to try to save his own skin? Sources say the minor is the same 17-year-old girl at the center of Matt Gaetz' sex trafficking probe, and the Department of Justice is investigating whether other men connected to the two men also had sex with the child. The two men were pictured together on social media with Roger Stone, who was convicted of lying to Congress. Of course, they throw that in here in 2017. He was also pardoned. Matt Gaetz denies ever having paid anyone for sex and has not been charged with any crime. Matt Gaetz has never paid for sex. Matt Gaetz refutes all the disgusting allegations completely, his office told the New York Times in a statement. Matt Gaetz has never been on any such websites, the sugar daddy websites, whatsoever. Matt Gaetz cherishes the relationships in his past and looks forward to marrying the love of his life. The shocking report marks the latest twist in the saga involving the Republican lawmaker, which came to light this week. It emerged Tuesday that Gaetz was under investigation by the Department of Justice for allegedly having a sexual relationship with a 17-year-old girl and for violating federal sex trafficking laws by paying her to travel across state lines with him. Gaetz denied the allegations, claimed he was the victim of an extortion plot involving former Justice Department official David McGee. He claims McGee was trying to extort him and his family for $25 million using the sex trafficking probe as leverage. So, yeah. So this is where we're at. Let's take some more calls. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Hey, it's Mike from Boston.
Hey, Mike.
Good Friday, happy Easter.
Yes. Same to you. Florence, $5 super chat. Thank you. Thank you, Brian, Kathy, and Steve, for all you do. Happy Easter, MAGA family. Well, thank you, Florence, for that super chat.
1 o'clock this morning, I went on Twitter real quick, and I see your tweets. I'm like, I was like, okay, I don't believe any of this. I mean,
yeah.
Come on. You can't. You're giving yourself away with Apple Pay. I mean, all these things have a footprint. Everything has a digital footprint.
Yeah, Matt Gaetz he is so wealthy. He's got wads of cash if he wants it. I don't see Matt Gaetz as a smart guy. Do you see him paying prostitutes with Apple Pay? And do prostitutes take Apple Pay? What's that? I mean, what do they have some type of scanning device?
They probably do. I don't know. I mean, anyone can do it. I mean, it's not that difficult to...
Yeah? I guess. That seems...
Cherry stamping dates or photography sessions. I don't know.
Well, I'm standing with Matt Gaetz. This is day 4. We haven't seen any documents. We haven't seen any photographs of the girl. We haven't seen him with any of these strange people. We've seen no proof of anything.
And that picture, I mean, a picture's 1,000 words, but if you look at it, if he's really like his friend, what you think of the...
Oh, no. They've got a picture. Okay. There's a picture circulating of Matt Gaetz in the background. In the front is Roger Stone and this guy that's sitting in jail. That's just a regular picture of 3 guys hanging out. I don't see any hookers.
No. I don't see anything of any relevance. I mean, and usually these guys, because I can't remember, years ago, there was another guy that got in trouble. Oh, he was a finance guy. And he had pictures of every Republican in Florida. And then, so it's not the same thing, but I'm just saying that there's a guy who's in jail right now who was like a Ponzi scheme guy, and he has pictures of everyone.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about Rothstein?
Yeah.
Yeah, from South Florida, yeah.
Yeah. And you could say the same thing for Bill Clinton and anyone else who was, I mean, these people get pictures of everyone, so...
Well, to me, based on what we're seeing right now, it looks to me like we got a guy in jail who was friends with him for a while. He's facing some serious time, and he knows this famous guy who the establishment hate, who the Republicans hate, the Democrats hate, and all of these people. And he's close. You know, he proposed to his fiance at Mar-a-Lago. You know, so he's very well connected to President Trump, and this is part of that. This is the swamp trying to drain MAGA.
I don't believe anything.
Okay, so you stand with Matt Gaetz too.
100%.
That's right. Okay.
I know the guy. I don't know the guy personally, but I mean, I've seen him on television like 100 times. I've seen him at all the events. I've heard one thing about him, and that was something that's like years ago, and that was before he was in Congress. And so, no, I can't see him doing it, especially that, you know, he's swampy because he's kind of smug in that.
Well, I have no doubt that Matt Gaetz has been a very active single man who traveled around and impressed his dates by going here and going there and staying in fancy hotel rooms. But that's not a crime. And what I expect to see, if we start to see anything, I expect to see that he stayed in this hotel and he stayed in that hotel. A single guy who's rich, who's famous, who's friends with the man who was president of the United States at the time, flying around all the time and hooking up with his girlfriends in hotels, that's what guys like that do. He's not married. He's still not even married. So there's no, you know, a single heterosexual life is not a crime. I know maybe they'd like to criminalize that, but heterosexuality, but come on.
Yeah, he comes off and he lets you know he's got money and he's a sharp dresser. So, like you said, this guy in jail talks to this is probably happening. He talks to that McGee guy and he told him something, and then he turned around and he put the what? It's all connected.
Indeed.
Father.
That's right.
The whole thing is.
That's right. Hey, Mike and Boca, take care. I got to run, but have a great Easter. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show. If you go on my YouTube channel, we live stream on YouTube, Brian Craig on YouTube. I'm wearing probably the loudest shirt I own in my arsenal of clothing. And you want to see, I do wear this shirt sometimes, but not usually to work. But go check it out. See my funny shirt. And we'll take our break, okay? And be back. Do not go anywhere.
You suffer with diabetes. Did you know there's a 20%?
Oh, man. Hey, guys, make sure you like the video. Share the video. I'm going to go to the phones after the break.
Diabetes can lead to severe health consequences up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Soul Authority. At the Soul Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own pair of therapeutic shoes made specially for diabetics. You're probably not aware, but as a diabetic Medicare
Steve Kane Show.
You are entitled to one pair.
Okay, hold on. I just want to see what line you were on.
Diabetic shoes.
Steve Kane Show.
3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name brand shoes. They're stylish. They'll provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin. Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Soul Authority at 954-597-7060 or online at thesoulauthority.com. That's TheSole authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the line, my wife Kathy is on hold. She sent me a text message saying she was on hold, so I answered the phones to see which line she was on. This is my wife Kathy. Hey, Kathy, what's up?
Hey, how are you?
You're on the air, yeah.
Okay, I have a theory of what's going on.
With Matt Gaetz?
Right.
Okay.
With Matt Gaetz. They're connecting him with this guy, like you said, that's been arrested for sex trafficking or something. There's pictures of him with him. I don't know if he knows him or what the deal is, but it is possible that this guy or somebody has introduced him to women and that he paid for the girls.
Yeah.
Did not know that they were escorts.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
Setup, you know what I mean? Where he had a friend who's like, "Oh, here's my friend," and introducing him to girls that were pretty.
Oh. Trying to impress his rich, famous friend in Congress. Yeah, that's a good theory. That's yeah.
Theory.
No, I could see that. Yeah, that's a possibility. But you know what? That's a
truth, but not entire.
But you know what? Here's the thing. If that's true, Matt Gaetz is in trouble because, first off, that'd be difficult to prove. But the second thing is, it's illegal to have sex with somebody who's under the age of 18, even if you don't know that they're underage.
Somebody could have set him up.
A sting.
Girl, and he did not know, and she could have lied.
Yeah.
Politics is a dirty business, and you're right. They want to take down these high-profile MAGA people. And whether it's true or not, it's all over the papers. It's all over Twitter, and once that's out there, they don't ever retract and tell you the truth.
Yeah.
They act like it is true, whether it is or not, and they put it out there. And I don't think he did this. I would hope not. I hope he'd be smarter than this. I mean, Apple Pay, but it is possible somebody was involved in this and introduced him to girls.
Well, if they produce hotel receipts, that means they got nothing, because Matt Gaetz stays in hotels all the time, and he's even said that he travels around with girlfriends and stays in hotels. So if they don't have, I think the Apple Pay, if it's Matt Gaetz's Apple Pay, is paying for hotel rooms.
Right. If there's anybody he was with that's an escort or underage, it could have been somebody that introduced him on purpose.
Yeah.
Get this to make this happen.
Yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one, Kathy. All right. Well, I'll see you later. All right. Bye. Take care when I get home. Richie the bus driver. Hey, Richie.
Yes. Good morning. All right. I'm the judge.
Oh.
You look at the witnesses. All right. You look at the people, the credibility of the people that are making the accusations, and you look at past performance. President Trump spent 4 years with Russia with these same people, accusing him of Russia, $44 million and nothing. Impeached 2 times, okay? Nothing. Matt Gaetz has gone after he went after Liz Cheney. He's very outspoken. I've seen him go after Sharpton. He's gone after every one of them, and they hate him in Congress, the Democrats. Totally hate him. And he's got Republicans that hate him because he is a supporter of President Trump.
Yeah.
This is such a bogus thing. I'm willing to put my life on the line. It's not just a setup, a bunch of garbage.
Yeah, and and one of the reasons they use these sex things, see, you got to understand, these forces against us are hardcore liberal people, and they think that we're a bunch of high and holy Bible thumpers, and when we hear anything about sexual anything, that the Bible thumping right are going to drop somebody and be outraged right away. Well, not if it's not true,
Comes out of, I believe, the Panhandle or something, Matt Gaetz, and it's very religious up there, and it's super Republican. You got Liz Cheney that's got hate his guts too. I mean,
the Republican establishment, they hate Matt Gaetz, and they'll work on this to, after this thing. This is I was talking about this the other day. Donald Trump is draining the swamp of the rhinos, but the rhinos are working to drain the swamp of MAGA at the same time, and they've got the same people that were after Trump working with them in coordination. And this has the Russian dossier and Stormy Daniels, by the way, written all over it. It's very similar tactics. And like I was telling the caller earlier, Richie, the girl isn't 17 now. This has been going on for 1 or 2 years, so she's like 19 years old now. There's no reason why we haven't seen a photograph of her or an interview with her. She's not underage now. So my guess would be, like this guy sitting in jail, she's continued this life. She's facing some charges too, probably. And I'll tell you, her story's worth a lot of money. She could sell that to tabloids, and you can't believe prostitutes, because look at what they do for money, for just a little bit of money. Imagine what they would do for a big payday.
Well, look what they did to Kavanaugh. They sent that woman. It was a total fraud. In other words, the bottom line is the Democrats are very devious. And let me tell you something. It's not just the lying about all of this. It's the lying about this aid package. It's lying what they're trying to throw at us now. They make fancy.
Well, this thing with the aid package, the AIDS package, the infrastructure package. This is what happened here. Okay, for the 4 years that President Trump was president, the donors didn't get their kickbacks. So this, so the political establishment of both parties owe their donors, not just now, they owe them the 4 years that they couldn't pay them off under Trump. So this infrastructure bill is just the political establishment of both parties paying back all their donors with our money. That's why none of it's going to infrastructure.
Exactly. Well, the percentage of electric cars, most people don't want electric cars. I don't want it. I had a hybrid. Let me tell you, so years ago, I had a Lexus hybrid. And then when they told me the only thing wrong with the batteries are not warranted for more than 7 years. Well, when your car gets older, guess what happens? The battery pack alone was $3,000.
Yeah, they're expensive.
A battery. So what I'm trying to say is, and then you're paying premium for the car, $5,000 above the price of a regular.
And the mileage that a lot of people don't know this. Okay, when they talk about mileage on a car, whether it's electric or gas or any type of vehicle, the miles per gallon, that's without the air conditioner running. They when they do that, and a lot of people don't know that. That's why I don't understand. Why am I not getting this gas mileage that was on the sticker? Because you run the air conditioning.
Well, you never make the money back. You could drive 200,000 miles and you're still in the hole.
And what is somebody's? What I would like to know. I've got I got a relative that has a Tesla. I would like to know. But you know what? These electric car owners, they're like gamblers. They never tell you the truth. They only tell you about their winnings. I don't know. I'd like to know how, so I'm not going to ask them. I wonder how much these people pay a month in electric bills to power the cars.
Yeah, exactly. And and how long you have to sit there and wait for something to charge. I know when I pull into a gas station, if I have an empty tank, it takes maybe 7 minutes to fill.
There's a guy on YouTube who's one of the top YouTubers. He's not political, Casey Neistat, and he's a nice guy. He does watch his YouTube channel. He has a Tesla, and he was driving from Southern California up to the Bay Area to see his son who's in college, and he had to keep stopping to charge the car. And because he's got the fanciest Tesla, which means he's got the Tesla that has the longest range too. He's a millionaire. He stops in this place to charge the place. He did a whole workout. He had weights and everything, and he did a whole exercise routine and workout while he was charging the car. I mean, I stop at a gas station. I'm in and out, going to the bathroom, getting a Mountain Dew, filling up gas, 5 minutes, 10 minutes at the longest. I don't
know. I've done a casino in Coconut Creek, and they have charging stations there.
They have them everywhere. They have them at Wawa. At some of the Wawas, they have them. Yeah.
You gamble for a couple of hours, and you go out. The same car's plugged in. Come on.
You can't stop gambling until the car's charged.
But the truth of the matter is, the government is forcing us with this bill. They're actually going to subsidize the electric car companies and try to force us out of regular cars. This is outrageous. And the guy in New York that was running for president, that's now running for mayor, Andrew Wang.
Yeah.
He wants to eliminate. Listen to this one. He wants to eliminate all private-owned vehicles, and it's going to be a mass transit of all electric.
Yeah, that's right.
Electric.
Well, a lot these liberals come from these big cities where they don't, they can get around with public transportation and Uber and everything. They're not, Florida is one big suburb. You can't, you're a bus driver. Forget it. You can't take public transportation you need a car. Now, so you're standing by Matt Gaetz. You don't believe this garbage either?
It's all garbage. They're liars. These people they can't tell the truth to us in our face. They have to mask everything with words and everything else.
That's right.
I'm going to say to you really quick that the buses, okay, the difference is the government forced the counties to buy these hybrid buses. And do you know how much they cost? When I left there, they were $225,000.
He's a liberal, but he doesn't really get into the politics.
When I left there 10 years ago.
He's not political.
Can you imagine today the premium that they pay for hybrid?
Yeah. All right, Richie, got to run. Thanks for the call. 46 minutes after the hour, we'll take our last break of the first hour and be right back. Do not go anywhere.
Hey, Brian Craig here. We've been telling you on the Steve Kane
right
Show,
back.
for coronavirus testing, stop by any lab test now of Coral Springs and any lab test now of Boca. One of our longtime sponsors, Dr. Mitch Matez of the Boca Raton Center for Age Management, went to any lab test now of Boca for coronavirus testing this weekend, and he called in live on the radio to share his experience.
Listen, Brian, I have a great experience to tell you about. I went to any lab test now on Saturday, to get COVID-19 tested. And it was awesome. We had a little experience where we had somebody in our close circle that tested positive after 10 days, by the way. Went and had a test. It took 10 days to get the results. We all went into a little bit of a panic, obviously. So we called up any lab test now. It was about maybe 11:30 in the morning on Saturday. They said, come on right on over. I was anonymous. I didn't announce myself. We went over there. We got there about noon. We checked in. 2 minutes later, they took us back, did our test. We sat in the waiting room for less than 15 minutes. They brought us back, gave us our results, which were negative, and we were on our way home. And a little shout out to Brittany, the nice young lady who did our test.
I don't know if you guys could see it in the glass, because before the sun comes up, that's like a mirror. I walked at the door is like halfway open, and I walked out to go to the hallway, and I walked into the door. My shoulder hit that door's steel. Hit that door so damn hard. Man, that did not feel good.
Doctor recommended. Can I say that in the commercial now? Doctor recommended. Any lab test now with Boca Raton.
Yeah, doctor recommended. Yeah, it was really kind of cool, and it was wonderful, and it was easy. And listen, to that end, go over and get tested. This is the test you want to get. It tells you point blank, did you have it, do you have it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
That's great. So Dr. Mitch Matez personally recommending any lab test now of Boca.
You heard Dr. Mitch Matez. Any lab test now of Boca is doctor recommended for coronavirus testing. They're located in the Sandalfoot Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro on the east side of 441. Give them a call, 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood over by the Coral Square Mall. Their number, 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs. Make sure you tell them You heard about them on The Steve Kane Show.
Listen to The Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Brian. This is The Steve Kane Radio Show. By the way, any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs, you get your results in 15 minutes or less for COVID. They have every COVID test you need. Okay, so if you need one for work, for travel, for a specific type of work, make sure you tell them. And since you get it in 15 minutes or less, you can stop in on the way to work, on the way home from work, stop over on your lunch hour. Now listen, there's lots of any lab test nows. Those are the only two that are sponsoring this incredible radio show, the Steve Kane Radio Show. So those are the two you want to use. And by the way, they do all the lab testing you can imagine, guaranteed lowest price in town as well. But they are also both open on Saturdays. Okay, so you can stop in over there on Saturday. So Nancy Pelosi says if these allegations are true, that Gaetz should be tossed out of Congress, should be taken off his committee, and they'll make a move to take him out of Congress. Eric Swalwell was involved in a sexual relationship with a spy from the Chinese Communist Party's intelligence agency. They're all up in his computers, his phones, and they gave him a promotion and top security clearance. Similar thing with Feinstein. It was her driver and assistant. You know, and that Meghan McCain is calling for Matt Gaetz to resign. Why? Wasn't John McCain involved in Abscam? I got to review Abscam a little bit. What, somebody makes an allegation, you're supposed to resign? Are you kidding me? How many allegations were made against her father? And those were a lot of them true, the aircraft carrier and all that stuff. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Yeah, hi, it's George from Albany, New York.
Hey, yeah, I know where Albany is.
How you doing? Listen, this thing about Matt Gaetz, I want to give it too much credence right now. Remember a few years ago, they basically tried to do the same thing. Maybe it wasn't a prostitution ring, but with Jim Jordan out of Ohio, Congressman.
Oh yeah, it was something about boys on the Ohio State wrestling team.
Exactly. And when they started these accusations, I think he might have been on Tucker, denying them, obviously, and vehemently denying them, much the same way Matt Gaetz is. There's no doubt about it. This is a made-up story. It's kind of sickening how they're going after conservatives. So, every conservative in Congress, Senate, even local people should be very...
Well, no. They're not going after conservatives. They're going after MAGA. He is being targeted because he is, as far as I know, if somebody else has another person, please let me know. So far as Trump allies and MAGA people, he is the top MAGA person in Congress, and he's the most beloved MAGA member of Congress out of both houses. And he's only 38. He could be Trump's running mate in 2024. He's got a future ahead of him. The House of Representatives is his first stop. So that you bring down Matt Gaetz, you've taken out the number one MAGA person in the entire United States Congress. So that it's not the conservative Republican rhino establishment are the one doing it. They're working with him on it.
He was very detailed about going to the local FBI agency.
Well, what he did was very smart. I don't know, I talked about this on the show Wednesday. This is Matt Gaetz is brilliant, okay? Because of what he did. This was going on, this investigation and everything was coming out of, I'm assuming, it seemed to me, the Justice Department, he said, which is D.C. So it was like the D.C. Justice Department, the D.C. FBI. That's Comey country. And when this happened, usually someone in Congress, because they're a federal official, they go to the Capitol Police or the FBI when they're... He didn't do that. He went to a local office here in Florida where they're not... The local offices aren't these political hacks like up in D.C. So he went and dealt with the local FBI in Florida, and I think that's when their plot against him got foiled a little bit.
Situation you talked earlier about the situation with Eric Swalwell out of California, being close ties with the Chinese spy, and he's allowed to continue in his position, to also be elevated to different boards or whatever in Congress. This is the frustrating thing, and it's kind of scary as to how this is allowed to be happening with one side of the aisle, when it's true on that side of the aisle, and when it's false, probably false on the right side of the aisle. I mean, these things are very frustrating. It's hard to believe this is happening.
And not be speaker. And, one question has never been asked of anybody about. They haven't asked any questions about it. This happened a couple years ago. They didn't even tell us about it. It came public a few months ago. This happened a couple years ago. At what point did he know she was a Chinese spy? You know? And I didn't hear anybody ever ask that. And did he continue the relationship after? And no one can convince me that the Chinese are still not all up in his business.
They're deeply entrenched, especially throughout this, with the close ties to this, the power they have over this administration now. There's no way forward with this Biden administration. There's no way this country's going to grow and be successful. These new tax plan that he wants to put forward is going to cripple.
Oh no! Biden said no one over $400,000 a year is going to get taxed. You believe Biden, right? Yeah. You know, this is the thing that they don't understand. They trickle down economics. You know, that's called the capitalist system. The capitalist system is trickle down. So when rich people are rich for many, many reasons. One of the reasons is they don't pay for a lot. Okay, so if you got a guy making $400,000 a year and you raise his taxes, he's obviously in some type of business. He's just going to raise his prices and pass it along to his clients or customers or whatever. That's what rich people do. That's how they stay rich, and I don't blame them. You know, so of course raising the taxes on the rich raises the taxes on. I love Mayor Pete. Now he's Secretary Pete, but Mayor Pete, he says, "Oh, we just think these people should pay their fair share."
Paying their fair share. As a matter of fact, they're killing the country. They're employing people. They're putting people to work.
Yeah.
To live and provide for the family and keep the economy going here. That's how.
Yeah, you know, they may pay a lower rate than somebody else. Okay, they got this thing. Oh, Warren Buffett pays less than his secretary. Well, it's not true. He may pay a lower tax rate than the secretary, but he's paying boatloads, literally boatloads and pallets, like that Iranian plane filled with money that Obama sent, in taxes. Because he's got deductions, but he's still paying millions in taxes.
They play. He's paying a lower rate. Yeah, he's paying a lower rate, but he's paying a hell of a lot more. Warren Buffett obviously is a big tax dodger anyways. He won't tell you that. But people that have lower income jobs do not have deductions that wealthier people do. So wealthier people oftentimes pay a lower percent. They're a lower rate. They may only pay 9% of their income in taxes, where somebody that's making less money pays 13%. I'm just making these numbers up, but they're still paying hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in taxes, even though it's a lower rate. They don't get it. They do get it. They don't even call it taxes anymore. They call it revenue. They're raising revenues, not taxes. They say now. Well, take care of yourself and have a happy Easter.
That's great. Happy Easter to you too. Good morning. What's your name? You're on the radio.
Good morning, Brian. It's Andrea.
Hey, Andrea.
So, if Nancy Pelosi is calling for a massive...
They're going to turn on Matt Gaetz. The Republican establishment, who are our leaders, right? Liz Cheney in the Congress, Liz Cheney, and who else? Kevin McCarthy, who took Marjorie Taylor Greene, one of the he worked with Pelosi to take her off committees. It's only a matter of time before the Republicans start dropping the establishment rhinos start to drop Gaetz.
Well, it is my hope that the Republicans finally stop being fluffy little kittens and learn how to fight. I think Kevin McCarthy is a disgrace.
Yep.
He's disgraceful on another level.
Yeah.
He can get on TV and use his big soft voice, but you know what? He's disgraceful. And
well, yeah.
I hope Americans, especially Republican voters, especially MAGA people, I hope that they turn. And I hope that they turn on these rhinos so hard.
Well, that's what President Trump's doing. So you believe Matt Gaetz and you stand with Matt Gaetz?
I believe Matt Gaetz and I stand with Matt Gaetz. You know why? Because if you can have a compromised person on the Intelligence Committee that you're totally not worried about, see, this is the elitist. So this is the Democrat Party once again throwing two middle fingers up to the American people, saying, you know what, we're going to do whatever we want, and we don't care if your vote counts.
Yeah. Well, the Republican Party establishment that President Trump is trying to drain the swamp of believe they have made a decision that they are very comfortable not being the majority party as long as they control the party. They want to control the loss, not lose control of the victory. And they want MAGA gone. And losing Matt Gaetz would be a big blow to the MAGA movement. He's very good. And one thing he's good about is calling out the Liz Cheneys and these other creeps when they betray us. They don't like that.
I'll tell you something, Brian. I don't know how Cruz does. AOC accused him of attempted murder. The proof. If I were Ted Cruz, I would assume.
You can't. They're public figures. They got all kinds of rules. But hey, listen. Thanks for the call. If you're on hold, don't go anywhere. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. We got to take our top of the hour break. We'll go back to the phones. We're talking about Matt Gaetz and this phony baloney scandal that they're trying to the Russian dossier 2 that they're trying to bring to him. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Hour number 2 begins now.
Got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Brian Craig here.
This shirt's awesome. This is a Star Wars shirt.
Friendly Tire has on new tires and used tires. They also do.
I call it my Star Wars Hawaiian shirt.
Talk about their experience at Friendly Tire in Margate.
Hey Brian, my name is Mike. Just wanted to call and say thank you. I had a problem with my car. I had a flat tire. It was going down really quick. I'm in Coral Springs. I had to go somewhere close by. They couldn't really fix it. So I remember you guys are talking about Friendly Mike at Friendly Tires. So I said, listen, Mike, I need a couple of tires. I told him my son. He goes, I got them. I go, I'll see you tomorrow. They were really cheap. I go over there, and Mike said, which tires do you want to replace? They look relatively new. I said, they are. I just got a big hole in that one. And they said they couldn't be fixed. He goes, pull your vehicle in. I pulled the vehicle in. He took the tire off. He pulled out the plug that the guy in Coral Springs put in there, and he heat shielded it. He kind of patched it or whatever they call it. I don't know what they call it. And he goes, you don't need any tires. He goes, I fixed that one. Give me $20. But the guy in Coral Springs wanted $500 for 2 tires. I just wanted to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you guys. Have a wonderful day.
Give Mike at Friendly Tire a call right now. We'll give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Don't waste time going anywhere else. You will never find prices as low as Friendly Tire in Margate.
This is Dr. Montez from the BioStation West Delray. The BioStation is America's premier age management solution due to the extensive array of options available. At the BioStation, we take your health seriously. Our men's health program is doctor supervised with multiple options to treat erectile dysfunction and low testosterone. Erectile dysfunction may be a sign of a more serious issue, and our medical team can help you get to the root cause. Let us help you get to the source of the issues that are holding you back from leading a fulfilling life. If any degree of erectile dysfunction is holding you back, call me immediately at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Hey there guys, it's Kathy, Brian's better half, and one of the most important holidays of the year is coming up, Mother's Day. We all love our moms. They always take such good care of their families. And now it's time to take care of the moms in your life. Whether it's for your wife, your own mother, your grandma, or your daughter. MyPillow.com has amazing gifts any mom will love. They have pillows.
Well, I'm glad you wouldn't wear my shirts.
And so much more.
Because I like wearing it.
She will love and one she will actually use.
Thank you, Smiling Snow Squirrel.
When you visit MyPillow.com, be sure to use promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, for absolutely amazing deals.
This shirt's awesome. Check it out. You can see all the Star Wars stuff on it. This is an awesome shirt.
Remember, promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, for huge savings and great deals.
The Steve Kane
All right, we're coming back.
Brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing?
That charge, that might be, Richie, from the outlet at home. That may not be from those charging stations. Those charging stations charge a little faster.
FLA 37.
It takes a confident man to wear this shirt. That's, a confident man. That's me. I'm a confident man.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE-1.
Alrighty, we're back 4 minutes after the 7 o'clock break. I'm Brian Craig. This is The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. We're standing by Matt Gaetz here. I'm with Matt Gaetz. So far, all of our callers are standing fast with Matt Gaetz, MAGA strong. These very vague allegations against him made by a jailhouse snitch. We'll take some more calls, and then there's some other updates I haven't even gotten to yet on Matt Gaetz. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name?
Hey, Brian. Oh, Al. Hi.
Hey, Al.
Hey, what do you think Adam Schiff has something to do with this, too? Like, he likes to get involved with this stuff with trying to...
I don't know. I haven't seen him talking about it yet.
Yeah, he doesn't... He may not be talking about it, but it makes you wonder, because with him, with Trump and everything, all these...
Yeah. Well, so do you believe these allegations against Matt Gaetz?
No, I don't.
Why not? Why don't you believe him?
I just think it's like made up. I don't even with the Apple Pay thing.
Who pays hookers with Apple Pay?
The money probably right. I would think. I never dealt with a hooker.
Well, I don't know. People don't walk around with cash. When that homeless guy last week came up to me on the YouTube Live, and I was joking around. I said these homeless people should start taking Apple Pay, because who's got cash anymore? But
But. And let me ask you a question. I just found out. I don't know if have you been to that new website, 45office.com?
President Trump's website? Absolutely.
Yeah, because I saw. I don't know if you thought about it or don't want to bother. Some people don't. I saw this where you can make. Obviously not for me, but people like in the media, like yourself with the radio, could make a request. I guess if you.
Yes.
A lot of requests.
You think?
Like that.
Yeah.
Did you ever heard that guy Dan Rodimer? Did you see the guy that's trying to run for Texas?
No.
He's running for Texas. I guess what was one of those guys that died? We got from COVID, I guess. Mocking him. I think he did a video where he was on a doing a rodeo thing.
Oh yeah, I know. I don't know the name, but I've seen some reference to it. I don't know anything about the person though.
Yeah, they're just making a mockery out of him. I guess he was involved with wrestling, but he never made it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. A little off topic. Hey, I appreciate the call. All right. So everyone's standing with Matt Gaetz this morning. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hello.
Yes, you're on the air.
Hey, how you doing? I don't believe nothing that Deep State, the Dems say about Matt Gaetz. Nothing. I mean, Matt Gaetz is a good man. I've lived here in Florida, and talked to before.
Well, why do you, I believe Matt Gaetz. I stand with Matt Gaetz, but why do you believe him? Why do you stand with him?
He's outspoken, seems clean cut to me. I mean, I'm just an ordinary person, Yeah. Other than that,
Well, the thing with Matt Gaetz, okay, we're 4 days into the story. We haven't seen any evidence leak out, and that would have leaked out by now if they had something. And I don't mean a photograph, because like I say, people take selfies with people all day long. I take selfies with people all the time. I run into listeners. They take I don't know their background. I don't know their life story. So selfies aren't enough. I haven't seen any evidence. And like I was saying in the last hour, this girl is not 17 now. They said this has been going on a year, 2 years. She's like 19 years old now. Why haven't we seen a photograph of her? And we find out that the allegations are coming from this guy who's awaiting trial, sitting in jail on sex trafficking, facing really a long time behind bars.
All the sex trafficking that's almost, I'd say proven, but we see the pictures and everything, all these Steve Sayers, the Democrats and everything, dealt with Epstein and stuff like that. We see that, okay? And when they accuse somebody like Matt Gaetz on there, okay, they kind of use his defenses, and then, when he proves that they've, accused him wrongly, they're going to try and switch that back to them, the Democrats and all the people who are guilty of that, and try to use that defense themselves off. You see what I'm...
That's right. He's facing hard time. He's got a famous friend, a well-known person who they would much rather put in jail than him. So he starts, saying whatever he's got to say to shave some time off. That's what it looks like to me.
I think Matt Gaetz, he would be a good candidate in the future for president.
That's right.
He's real smart, looks good. You know what I'm saying? He's a very honest person and everything.
And he's a Trump loyalist. Yeah.
And clean. He's got a good running record and everything.
Yeah.
He's for everybody. But see, that's what I don't understand.
And he fights back against him. You see him calling out Liz Cheney. Yeah.
All these rhinos and stuff like that, they are, you can see the corruption just dripping off.
Well, these are the times where I miss President Trump on Twitter, because he would be commenting on this in real time, all these stories.
Of course you would.
Yeah.
The censorship, I'll tell you. It's kind of weird, but this new doctor intercepted me.
Yeah.
Become my doctor when it was kind of an illegal move how they did it and everything. But I went and got a blood test, and this new doctor said that I had this certain kind of disease, which I never did. It's just
he was looking to rack up a bill. Yeah.
Down here to the hospital, I was pissed. I went to the hospital. I'm going to get me a blood test. I'm going to prove this is wrong, which I did. And when I went in there, the emergency room, there was nobody.
Well, a lot of people. Okay, yeah, that's misleading. Okay, well, slow down. Slow down. Slow down. There's a couple of things misleading about what you're saying. Okay. One, hospital emergency rooms are ghost towns all over the country, because before COVID, people would go and use ERs like a clinic. So people aren't going to the emergency room for minor things now because they're afraid they'll run into somebody with COVID. So that's one thing. Number two, COVID cases, because people aren't going. COVID cases are up in Florida. What's not up are deaths and hospitalizations. And so that's good news. But the numbers are up. That's a true thing. The numbers of COVID positive people is up in Florida. Oh yeah, I know people that have had it. Yeah, sure. Well, a lot of people that have it, they don't tell people because they don't. But what's not up, what's down are deaths and hospitalizations. Okay, deaths and hospitalizations are down, but more people have been getting it. Yeah, that's true.
Hey man, I'm just an ordinary person. If people having bad reactions to stupid.
Oh, I got vaccinated on Monday, and I'm fine. Well, that's your choice, your body, your choice. But I got it, and I'm going to get my second dose in a few weeks. All right, take care, man. I don't want to get sidetracked on that because we're talking about Matt Gaetz here. Now, there's another story here, and a name has popped up in this story that is a familiar name. Listen to this. This is also in the Daily Mail. Revealed. I love how they keep putting these things in there. Revealed, which adds a little layer of, scandal to the story. This is the headline. Revealed. Matt Gaetz showed lawmakers naked photos on the House floor of women he said he'd slept with. Okay. Let's see. Where are the members of Congress telling us that? Former FBI Director Andrew McCabe says there must be a significant degree of information for a sex trafficking probe to be launched. Now, Andrew McCabe, if you remember, he was the guy that got fired right before the pension by Trump got clicked in. Andrew McCabe is a source of credibility in the media to give analysis on this, and he says that, well, there must be some evidence if they're doing this. Really? What about the Russian dossier? Zero. What about Russian collusion? Zero evidence. So for Andrew McCabe to come out there and tell us there must be a significant amount of evidence, or there would not be an investigation. Textbook right out of the Trump, anti-Trump, never-Trumper playbook. He's their source. Multiple sources told CNN that Congressman Matt Gaetz showed lawmakers photos and videos of the women while he was on the House floor. So this is what they're saying, that Matt Gaetz had naked photos and videos, which may not have been naked, I don't know, we don't know, and he would go around the floor of Congress and saying, I had sex with this naked woman and that naked woman. Why are these congressmen unnamed? Why are they not coming forward to CNN and going on TV? You know how difficult it is to keep a congressperson away from a television camera? Are you kidding me? Why are they not on the record? There is no known link between these alleged images and the sex trafficking probe of Gaetz. So while if this were true, while it would be kind of scummy, no crime involved. Prominent Republicans have remained silent on the probe. Oh, so this is interesting. So they're saying here, multiple sources told CNN that Matt Gaetz showed lawmakers photos and videos of women that he had had sex with on the House floor, but then they say prominent Republicans have remained silent. So are these people that are telling CNN Democrats? Because if they are, give me a break. And I'd like to know who they're probably not telling us the names of these congressmen, because the names themselves would discredit the allegation. Former FBI Director Andrew McCabe, who was fired, says there must be a significant degree of information for federal officials to have launched a sex trafficking probe into a sitting member of Congress. Yeah, just like the Russian dossier, right, McCabe? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You know, you got to feel bad for this guy. See, this is what happens when there's not very many top prominent MAGA people in Congress, in government right now. Right? And he's one of the squeakiest clean guys we got up there. There's no one could convince me that this isn't political. If something comes out that shows he's lying, I'm always up for new information, but I'm not seeing a thing. All right, listen, let's take our first break. If you want to call in about this, please do. I got some other topics I am going to bring up, but you're still welcome to call in on this topic. Steve Kane will be joining us a little later. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. We'll be back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Oh, man.
Says or means. This is Christian Knuckles.
Have you gone without insurance through the Affordable Care Act because you thought you couldn't afford it? The times are changing. I have exciting news to share with you from I Will Advisors. With the signing of the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, the government has increased the subsidies available to people buying insurance through the marketplace. In fact, even people making over 400% of the federal poverty level can get insurance now and not pay more than 8.5% of their income. There's talk of people currently paying less than $100 per month, and you could possibly pay $0 per month with these new changes. It doesn't cost anything to check, but everyone must take action. The special election period will end, but the sooner you take action, the sooner you can start saving money. Call Dan at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080, 954-753-8080.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Good morning, Cassandra, Doug.
Hey, Doug.
You know, Andrew McCabe, I mean, why don't they ask China Eric Swalwell? Like he
yeah.
Get
and Adam Schiff. Let's get Adam Schiff. Let's get him to speak out too.
Unbelievable. I feel sorry for first of all, why would any congressperson be showing? I mean, maybe if they had his best friend, maybe you show some videos of naked girls, but walking around on the floor showing people.
That seems so ludicrous, and for that to have happened, and no one come forward about that. There was a guy. Many years ago, back in the O.J. Simpson trial days, used to be a regular on this program, and he's passed away. He's no longer with us. And he used to date young. He had a big law firm here in South Florida. And this is not attorney Richard Essen, if people think I'm talking about. This is not Richard Essen, but I'm not going to tell you the name of because he's passed away too. I don't want people to think I'm talking about Richard Essen. He was a good guy. This wasn't him. This other guy, we used to have him on the show every week. We used to do this roundup on Fridays, which was the roundup of the O.J. Simpson trial for the week. And he would come on the show week after week, and that trial went on for 9 months. So we got to know him after a while, and he used to date younger girls. And he used to take naked photographs of them, and he brought in his photo album, and he was telling us, and he spent his entire dating life, his whole life, was taking naked photographs of girls, and they did it. They posed. They would go to parks outside and pose and everything. I don't know when he passed away who got his albums, but my goodness. But if a sitting member of the House of Representatives, especially a Trump-supporting Republican, is walking around showing naked photos and videos of girls and said, "I've had sex with this," you're telling me that never leaked out? Come on.
It would have been impossible. Dumbest story. People come up with any. I don't know. They must have a think tank or something. They all get to go, what can we say today? And just come up, well, how about this? And they make up stories and just then.
Well, this is what they've always done, okay? And, it's an interesting thing because the left, my whole life, the left talked about how corrupt J. Edgar Hoover was and how he did these things. And I never believed the stuff about the Hoover files and all of that. I thought too much was made of J. Edgar Hoover, but now I believe it. I give an example of a story that has become like almost accepted history that I don't believe. It was Martin Luther King. They like to say that Martin Luther King was being surveilled by the FBI, by J. Edgar Hoover, and not only was he having extramarital affairs, but it was with white women. And that is something that has become almost historical. Like, people accept that. Oh yeah, he was messing around with white women all the time. I don't believe any of that. I'm not saying he never messed around. I'm talking about with white women. See, back in the civil rights era, a sure way to turn people against a prominent black man was that he was having sex with white women. Back in the 50s and 60s, that was illegal in parts of the country, and it would turn people. So, they've always been taking political. The establishment has always targeted political enemies and done things like this. Look, the Russian dossier with President Trump. Do you know what the Russian dossier alleged that Hillary financed? Do you know what it alleged?
Well, I can listen.
They never. It's so absurd. I'll tell you what it alleged. Okay, and people talk about the Russian dossier even in mainstream media, but they never tell you what it alleged about President Trump because it's so absurd. Okay, this is what the Russian dossier alleged. Now remember, when he was president-elect, Comey went to Trump Tower, tossed the dossier on Mr. Trump's desk, President-elect Trump's desk, and said, President-elect Trump, we can either investigate this or it can go away. Wink, wink. He said, get out of here. You're fired, This is what the Russian dossier said. President Trump traveled to Moscow. He rented the same hotel room that Obama slept in when he visited Moscow as president. He hired 2 Russian prostitutes to urinate on the bed while he was sitting in a chair watching, pleasuring himself. And Vladimir Putin has videotape of this and is using it as leverage to get Trump to do his bidding. That is so. First off, this urination thing, that's an old Russian thing that they use. I don't know what their obsession is with that, but they, but come on, is that stupid?
So they come up with some real.
That's what the Russian dossier alleged that Trump did. Come on.
I tell you, anybody who wants to run for Congress or Senate or become president, it's a tough job. They put up with this I don't know. It really hurts our country to see all these lousy stories coming out because no matter.
Well, 4 days in, we have no evidence, no documents, nothing, not even a photograph. So 4 days in, that tells me he's in the clear.
One thing I'd like to mention, other than that, you know, the Broward County geniuses want you to wear a mask when you're pumping gas or all by yourself, but they don't say. I heard there's a plane going over letting mist out for the mosquito, but they don't.
Yeah.
What time they're coming? So you're going outside, you're walking around, and you're getting.
Well, I'll tell you, you know, Broward County. I don't go to Broward County very often. If I do, I don't go much further south than Friendly Tire and Margate. Okay, but that's true. I don't. I live in Palm Beach County. I don't go to Broward County very much. But when I went to Broward, Broward County is much different than Palm Beach County, where I live. I went to just when you cross the county line. When I went and got my vaccination in Coconut Creek the other day, the BCC North Campus, the level of fear and tension and enforcement among them for the masks was crazy. Everybody was in. I was in line for 2 hours for my vaccination. Right. Well, the whole process was 2. I was in line about 90 minutes, and no one talked. Everyone but me was wearing a mask the whole time, and the security guards were coming around. Put your mask on. Nobody questioned it. Nobody questioned that. That's Broward County. It's like East Germany. I'm in Palm Beach County, which is a Democrat county, but a lot of those Democrats are good old boys. You know what I mean? It's a different tone. And I go to the boat show last weekend. No one's wearing a mask. No one's enforcing it or anything. So the Broward County and Palm Beach County, you just cross the county line, and it is. It's strict, lockdown, crazy place, Broward, and Palm Beach is like freedom. It's very different.
Well, especially at the boat show, the rich people, they don't want to screw around with the rich people.
No, I'm telling you, the rich, they weren't wearing masks themselves, and you would think Palm Beach that they're older, but they're rich, but they're Democrats too, and look at New York Democrats. No.
So hypocritical. They want you to wear a mask when you're pumping gas, but they don't tell you they're going to...
Listen to this. I went to the car wash yesterday, and I see a guy. He's in a SUV all alone. Nobody else is in it. The windows are up, and he's got one of those N95 masks on the whole time. And I saw waiting to get in line, and I saw his car when he came out of the car wash, and he still had the mask on. I'm thinking, what does he think he's going to infect himself? It was so weird. It was so... What's he wearing the mask in the car by himself? And those N95 masks are hard to breathe in.
I threw it away. I couldn't use it. Those are terrible. I don't know how anybody could...
Yeah. Have you gotten vaccinated?
Not yet.
Yeah. Are you going to?
I'm thinking about it now. Since President Trump said to take it, I'm thinking maybe it's not so bad. But
well, Steve Kane and I have had it. We've had the first injection.
If all of a sudden you're not on air, I'll say, uh-oh.
Well, don't assume. I am taking a day off soon to go out of town with my daughter. So don't assume that's why. If I'm not here live, it's a pre-planned day. I'm not sure which weekend it's going to be, but I'm taking a day off with my daughter to take her out of town for her birthday. So don't say, oh, look, he had the, okay.
Just one more thing.
Yeah.
You saw that woman get beat up by that person who killed his mother. That was terrible. What really bothered me is...
Who are you talking about? I missed that. I'm sorry. Who?
In New York City, the guy who killed his mother, who was out after 17 years, walking down the street, kicks this Oriental woman.
You mean Asian woman.
Yeah.
Your Oriental is exclusive to objects like rugs, lamps, artwork. People are Asian.
I apologize. Anyway, so kicks her in the head like 3-4 times and then walks away. Now, what really bothered me is the people in the store, instead of going out to help the woman, they shut the door. I said, what kind of people?
I saw that. I know. I saw that. Isn't that crazy?
Unbelievable.
Well, no, it's not. It's very believable. We saw. All right, thanks for the call. One more call, then we'll break. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Good morning, Ian with Cruise and Travel.
Oh, hey, Ian. I was expecting your call. Yeah, this is Ian from Cruise and Travel Depot, who is the travel agent that organizes and plans all of our Steve Kane listener cruises. And in January, we have our Steve Kane 2022 MAGA cruise on the newly remodeled, refitted, and updated Celebrity Equinox out of Fort Lauderdale. Hey, Ian, how's it going?
It's going great, making plans. We're going to be the biggest group ever on this sailing, which, is it our fourth sailing or fifth sailing?
I'm not sure if this is our fourth or fifth cruise. I think this might be our fourth listener cruise, and in our MAGA family of cruisers, last year we didn't get to go. Our MAGA family of cruisers grows each and every time. So you're telling us this could be our largest group ever? Because the last one was pretty big.
Yeah, definitely. And the logistics are challenging, and we have new people signing up all the time, and it's really going to be an awesome experience.
Yeah, and, without much notice, all of a sudden you're going to find out that the cruise ships are setting sail, and once they do, cabins are going to book like instantaneous. I mean, it's really, if they're going to book up, they're going to book up fast. Now, our cruise, this is a great listener cruise, and Ian and I are spending a lot of time planning this one. And every cruise we do, we talk to everybody, we get their input on things that they like and they want to do on the next one, and we make sure. One of the things, of course, we have dinner together every night. We're planning incredible shore excursions. We have 4 stops this time around, including Aruba, right off the coast of South America, and Venezuela, in fact. But we're also planning a lot of activities on board the ship on the days we're at sea. So we're hanging out all day long and everything else. And it's just, this one's going to be a great one on the Celebrity Equinox in January.
And, with Celebrity's new system, everything's included. Your drinks, your tips, and basic Wi-Fi. It's really a turnkey travel.
Well, when we go on these cruises, I'm very busy. I don't have time for leisure or drinking too much, except when we go on these cruises. So I always have everything. I've got the drink package. I've got my tips taken care of. I've got my internet, so I don't lose anything. So you're telling me this is it. So drinks, tips, and that Wi-Fi is included?
Celebrity is sailing these days. They decided to switch to an all-in model.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. That's great, because usually sometimes I have to get some of those things extra, especially the Wi-Fi. So that's great that it's included. Now let's just go through real quick. Now you were telling me yesterday that this is something we love to do on our cruises, and it's hard to get these things locked up. But we've got a sail away party planned with the Steve Kane MAGA group. Can you tell people about this sail away party, what it's about, where it's at, and everything else?
So the sail away party is really exclusive. They only offer it to like Zenith member Captain's Club members, usually. It's on the helipad, and we'll get to sail out of Fort Lauderdale in this exclusive location to our stational.
Yeah, now we did this on our last cruise out of Fort Lauderdale, and it was a hit. And the helipad is on the bow of the ship. So we have a private party, which, by the way, includes champagne. And it's for our group to be on the bow of the ship, and it's really cool because not only do we have, as we're leaving Port Everglades, heading out, there's champagne, and also officers from the ship come and join us and hang out with us. It's a great way to start the trip, and it's a good way for us to start to get to know each other as a group when we head out to sea.
Absolutely. And I don't know if you realize this, but last time we did the sail away party, there were actually celebrity executives out there.
Yeah. Yeah, we're special. We're a special group. We're a special group of people. Now, and of course, we're going to Aruba. We're going to Grand Cayman and the Cayman Islands. We're going to, where else are we going?
We're going to Curacao and Bonaire.
Yeah, and this is a very exotic destination. We have 4 this time because this cruise is actually 9 days. We leave on a Friday, and we return the following Sunday. So we'll be off for a week like any other week cruise, but this one we got a couple extra days. And because of world events and everything, obviously, Ian was able to lock in some prices. And this one, we got a good deal, great prices for everyone, because Ian and I were thinking ahead when last year around this time, when it was the height of COVID, Ian and I, we were already talking about this one, and Ian locked in some great deals on the cabins because he locked in our group rates during the height of COVID, which helped get a good price, right?
And this sailing, there's not that many sailings that Celebrity does for the ABC Islands. It's a pretty special cruise, and the fact that we're doing 9 nights this time, people are really going to have a chance to settle in and enjoy the fantastic amenities that the ship has to offer.
Now listen, we got a lot of things planned. We're working on some incredible shore excursions. I'm going to give you Ian's number. If you have not been on our cruises before, go to my YouTube channel, Brian Craig on YouTube, and I have a couple of great videos from our past cruises, and there's one in particular on our last cruise on the Celebrity Silhouette you'll want to watch. It starts with me and my daughter in the port. I'm wearing a funny Hawaiian shirt, and it takes us through our whole week of the cruise, including that incredible excursion we took with our group, so you can get an idea of how much fun we have as a group and what we do. And it's always a great MAGA crowd, so it's like-minded people. Some single people come, and some of them are singles who usually cruise sometimes alone, and they say they always feel like an outsider. But with our group, because we're so like-minded Trump MAGA people, it's the immediate bond that we have. So listen, give Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot a call, 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779, and join us. The cruise is in January. It'll be here faster than you realize. So lock in your reservations and join us. All right, Ian. Well, listen, have a great weekend, and I'm looking forward to that vacation come January.
Me too. A lot of pent-up demand.
Oh, man. Indeed. All right, Ian, have a great weekend. We'll talk soon. All right? Thanks so much. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Steve's looking forward to it. And we are going to have a great time. All right, our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. You certainly are welcome to call in on the Matt Gaetz issue. We're continuing, to take your calls. And so far today, we've had, it seems to me, universal support for Matt Gaetz. We haven't heard from one person on the phones today. We've been taking calls since 6 a.m. Haven't heard from one person who's not standing strong with Matt Gaetz. We haven't heard from one person who does not believe Matt Gaetz. Everyone doesn't believe any of this. They see Russia dossier tactics written all over this. So, so if you take issue with it, I'd love to hear from you. I don't know how you can. I'm with Matt Gaetz, MAGA strong. But if you don't believe Matt Gaetz, you are also welcome to call in. I got a couple sound bites I want to play and talk about. This first one got a little play yesterday with Lester Holt, who's the anchor for NBC News, who really came out of the closet as a real left-wing creep yesterday. Listen, Lester Holt.
I think it's become clearer that fairness is overrated. The idea that...
I didn't set the stage properly with that. I apologize. Lester Holt, in this clip, he was accepting an award for some journalists group of journalists, I don't know, it doesn't matter, but some self-important journalist group giving him an award. And this was a prepared statement that he made. It's sitting at the anchor desk while he was talking to this group about journalism. Oh, it's a rough day. Rough day. I'm hitting the wrong buttons and everything. Here we go. Here we go again. Third time's a charm.
It's become clearer that fairness is overrated.
Oh.
The idea that we should always give two sides equal weight and merit does not reflect the world we find ourselves in. That the sun sets in the west is a fact. Any contrary view does not deserve our time or attention.
Wow.
Decisions to not give unsupported arguments equal time are not a dereliction of journalistic responsibility or some kind of agenda. In fact, it's just the opposite.
Wow. So the other side, we have no duty, and he's talking to journalists, we have no obligation to give the other side. Facts are facts. We are the decider of facts. I remember when Steve was doing an interview, there was a controversy, which I'm not going to go through right now, but Steve was involved in a very controversial happening a number of years ago that made not just local news, but national news. And I remember there was a reporter who came to our radio studio who was interviewing Steve. It wasn't live, it was a recorded interview in the parking lot in front of our old studio. And it was a very controversial issue. But anyway, Steve had asked the reporter prior to the interview, well, what's your opinion of all this? And I remember what the guy said. He says, I'm a reporter. I don't have opinions. Now, that guy is an old school journalist. Now, the news is nothing but opinions, okay? And the news media, Lester Holt, this is new. They've always had opinions. The media has always been left-wing and biased. There's no doubt about that. But they kept it quiet. They didn't openly talk about it. It showed, bias isn't just on air giving your opinion. Media bias can involve what stories you report on, even. Something that minor, right? Like you don't report on Swalwell, but you report on Matt Gaetz, for example, right? And we know the Swalwell thing happened. That's a fact. Investigators did an entire investigation and showed that. You understand what I'm saying? That's an example of bias in itself. But we're in this new era now where we have one of our anchormen coming out and saying, fairness is overrated. We're not obligated to give the other side. There's certain things that are true. We believe in truth, and global warming is a fact. The other side, NBC News has said, they've been saying this for a while, they will not have global warming, climate change skeptics on the air because climate change is a fact. No, it's a theory. It's a scientific theory, not a scientific fact. But they won't have they call them climate deniers, but they won't have anyone who questions it on their air, and they feel justified in doing that, and it seeps into every aspect of the media. And what's going on in this country right now with the media, it's not just the media, it's the politicians, it involves this thing with Matt Gaetz. The media have lost control of the narrative. They lost control of the narrative when President Trump came down the escalator. That was just it. They lost control of the narrative, and the media have been working to regain control of the narrative, the mainstream media. And the narrative is what they decide is Donald Trump, he did a couple of things. He took control of the narrative, and then he did another thing too, which is related to that, and it's part of the same thing. In the past, prior to Trump coming down the escalator, Republicans were always under siege. Always. Forever. Republicans were always responding to the media narrative. And they would set a narrative, like what they're doing with Matt Gaetz right now. This is a textbook example of what I'm talking about these ridiculous allegations against Matt Gaetz. The media now have a narrative about Matt Gaetz, and he's on the defensive about it. That's how it always was before Trump. So the media are trying to regain their influence that they've lost. There's too much media, too many vocal people out there. That's why President Trump, they've knocked off all these platforms. And what Lester Holt is talking about there is them coming out of the closet for the first time saying, this is what we're doing. Usually they try to pretend to be fair. They're done pretending to be fair. Things have gotten too out of control. They've got to be extra, extra aggressive. There's another clip I want to play for you. This is from Fredo's show last night on CNN, Chris Cuomo. He has a medical expert on. I can't remember her name. I think she's the woman who was the head of Planned Parenthood for a time. I'm not 100% sure, but I think she is, because in this clip they don't give her name. But listen to what she says here. This is very interesting.
Clear to them that the vaccine is the ticket back to pre-pandemic life. And the window to do that is really narrowing. I mean, you were mentioning, Chris, about how all these states are reopening. They're reopening at 100%. And we have a very narrow window to tie reopening policy to vaccination status. Because otherwise, if everything is reopened, then what's the carrot going to be? How are we going to incentivize people to actually get the vaccine? So that's why I think the CDC and the Biden administration needs to come out a lot bolder and say, if you're vaccinated, you can do all these things. Here are all these freedoms that you have. Because otherwise, people are going to go out and enjoy these freedoms anyway.
Okay. Yeah, former head of Planned Parenthood. I'm pretty sure about that. I'm pretty sure that's her. With Fredo last night on CNN. So this isn't about whether or not, this isn't a controversy about the vaccine itself. This is a controversy about using the vaccine to accomplish your goal. And she says, we only have a short window because states are opening up. And if they all open up, well, how can we force them to do this. There's only a short window. That was a very revealing moment by her. That's the kind of thing that they normally talk about in private, and that's why you saw this absurd cabinet meeting yesterday with Biden. Did any of you see this any pictures of this cabinet meeting? What room was that in? It looked like it was in one of those rooms that you see in Russia, where they have those big tables with everybody around them. I don't know. Was that the cabinet room? Did they knock down some walls? They had a socially distanced cabinet meeting yesterday. And they're all wearing masks, and they're all social distanced, and it was ridiculous. They're so far away. I mean, you have to almost yell. They might have to get on a phone and call Biden at the other end of the table. He's too far away. How can they even hear each other? All those people have been vaccinated. And the reason that they put on that show yesterday is because they don't want to let us be free. They want to keep us in this fearful era. You can hear her. They want to keep us in masks. They want to keep us separated. They want to keep the kids out of school. They want to keep the social distancing. They're changing our culture. They're getting what they're doing is they're conditioning the American people to a lot less freedom than they've been accustomed to. Don't you get it? That's what they're doing. And that cabinet meeting yesterday with Biden was absurd. Now listen, I'm going to take our last break of the second hour. Got an update on Mike Lindell from MyPillow, which I'm going to get into right after this break. I'm Brian. This is Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. We'll be right back.
I'm Dr. Janae.
I'm Alan Knight.
You love listening to Steve Kane and Brian Craig for your daily dose of political pandemonium. Now you need a cure for the resulting anxiety and depression. Join us for the perfect prescription to help you cope with the world.
Saturday mornings at 11 and Sunday nights at 11.
If you want answers about love, anger, pain, and relationships, join us for your chance to call in and share your stories, tears, or laughs. Take the opportunity to tell me what's on your mind.
Brian Craig here. I've been telling you for years how great MyPillow products are, but don't just take my word for it. This is one of our listeners, Todd. He bought the MyPillow mattress topper, and he called us live on the radio to tell us about his experience with the MyPillow mattress topper.
Yeah, I'm calling to get testimonial about my pillow topper.
You ordered the MyPillow, the mattress topper?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, I was thinking about buying a new mattress because my old mattress was getting old. So my wife's like, why don't you try that pillow, that mattress top? So I went on, I used your promo code Kane. I got a great price. Got it home. I've been using it for the last 3 nights. It's fantastic.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's like a whole new mattress.
I talked to other listeners with the MyPillow mattress topper, and they come in all sizes. The mattress companies have turned into con artists. When I was a kid, mattresses were two-sided. You'd have the mattress, then after a while you'd flip it over. Now you can't flip mattresses anymore. They don't make them that way anymore because people weren't buying mattresses enough. So the mattress companies stopped making two-sided mattresses, and mattresses are expensive. I've had to buy a new mattress, and mattresses can cost well over, just for a regular normal mattress, over $1,000. So that MyPillow mattress topper is a big savings. It saved you from buying a new mattress and turned your whole bed into a MyPillow.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I really love it. I sleep really good.
Well, that's great. Well, I appreciate that. And you guys out there, remember, promo code Kane, K-A-N-E.
Now, when you use the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com, save 30% off your MyPillow mattress topper and receive 2 free MyPillows. But you've got to use the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper. Turn your old mattress into a big MyPillow mattress. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are State of Florida certified roofing and general contractors, focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Hurricane season is right around the corner. This gives us only a short period of time to make sure your roof and home is ready for the 2021 hurricane season. So don't delay and call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Our website is www.laportacontracting.com, where you will find our latest video and live testimonials from a few of our past clients. Our number again is 954-604-4602.
Listen to The Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for...
All right, guys, welcome back. It is 7:49. I'm Brian. This is The Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Okay, now, one of the best sources of conservative news and information that I go to, I read so much, I go to so many places, but there's about a half dozen that I make sure I go to multiple times a day, and one of them is the Gateway Pundit. Oh, man, the Gateway Pundit. Any of you guys know the Gateway? If you don't know the Gateway Pundit, there's a lot of others. Weaselzippers.us, that's another good one. But the Gateway Pundit. Well, Jim Hoft, he's the big cheese over there at the Gateway Pundit, and he's a good guy. Brian Stelter hates Jim Hoft. That tells you all you need to know. I mean, that's all the credibility Jim Hoft needs, is that Brian Stelter doesn't like him from CNN. But Jim Hoft from the Gateway Pundit interviewed Mike Lindell of MyPillow. And listen to this. Mike Lindell in the interview, I did watch the interview, but I'm just reading to you some highlights of it. Mike Lindell described how top officials from several box stores, that's the Bed Bath & Beyonds and Kohl's, called him to tell him about their plans to discontinue MyPillow products this year after January 9th. Far-left organizations, this is Mike Lindell talking, like Sleeping Giants and others, initiated a full-out assault on MyPillow to remove its products from major chain stores. It ended up being their loss. Mike says several sellers are now regretting the move and asking him if they can once again carry MyPillow products. He also talked, Mike Lindell, about his new social media platform, Frank, that is coming in weeks, he said. Now weeks, not months, weeks. Mike Lindell says his new social media platform will work like both Twitter and YouTube in its functions. Mike has already spoken with top conservatives about bringing their podcast to the platform. And Mike says the size of the platform and its security system is impressive. Okay, now, yes, he has. And I expect, now I got to see, how it operates, but I expect us here on the Steve Kane Show, as well as my podcast, both shows to be on Mike Lindell's platform, Frank. I don't know yet if it's going to be, if we're able to live stream on that platform, or if we'll have to upload the videos after the fact. We got to see what the initial, and when it comes out, it'll be in beta form, and go, I'm sure, and go through revisions. But our expectation is to be on Mike Lindell's social media platform. And now we got some new information here, which in this interview with Mike Lindell, which is I'm glad there's some clarification of this. This is also very good. Mike Lindell and President Trump are launching two separate platforms. Okay? It's not the same. They are separate platforms. Mike Lindell says he has spoken with President Trump, and his platform will not be in competition with President Trump's plan to start up a social media platform. That's right. He says the more platforms we have, the more voices we have, the better. He says this, though, my platform, you'll be able to post videos like YouTube and Vimeo. And he says it will be very good for live streaming. So yeah, so that's awesome. So I definitely expect us to be on the Mike Lindell platform. We'll be on the Trump platform too, and I'm hoping we'll be able to live stream on Mike Lindell's platform. I don't know if it'll be technically possible. certainly in the beginning, but I'm going to be there on day one. Okay, I'm going to make sure of it, and I hope you guys are too. And let me tell you, now we're getting more detail on Mike Lindell's social media platform. Mike Lindell needs your support like never before. He also talked about he's facing a whole lot of lawsuits. He's got a whole team of attorneys. I mean, this guy, he's putting everything on the line. The social media platform, he says it can handle 1 billion with a B users. That's on day one. This new social media platform of Mike Lindell's is costing not boatloads of money. It's costing massive cargo ships filled with money to put together a platform like this. You know, the bandwidth, everything, the server space to do what he's talking about coming on like Twitter and YouTube on day one. You know, these other platforms, they built up over the years to where they are today, and they're still growing and make changes every day. He's coming out of the gate, Mike Lindell, at a very high level beyond what other platforms have come out as, according to what he's telling us in this interview. And it's costing him. I mean, he's putting his whole fortune out there. I mean, he's throwing everything into this. And you know, once it gets out there, his free speech platform, Mike Lindell, he is going to face so much opposition, as will Trump with his. You know, I ran into a listener yesterday over at Friendly Tire in Margate, and listener he brought up, his name was Steve, just like Steve Kane. Hey, Steve. And he mentioned Elon Musk. And, you know, President Trump is friends with Elon Musk. Elon Musk has his own new internet system that's satellite-based, that is in testing phases right now. They're using it in remote areas where people don't have internet, in Alaska and places right now. It's part of the SpaceX mission. I forget what it's called. But what Mike Lindell and President Trump, when these two platforms go online, Mike Lindell's Frank and President Trump's, we don't know the name of it yet, the internet companies are going to try to do to them what they did to Parler, right? Remember Amazon controlled all those servers and dropped Parler? I expect to see something similar. Okay? Not included in app stores, not included on these big servers. So what I could easily, this is what I was talking with our listener Steve at Friendly Tire yesterday, Margie. Elon Musk has his own internet system with this satellite, and a lot of people forget, when the internet was new, it wasn't like it is today. When the internet was new in the mid-90s, there was, if you remember, there was the .com internet that we have today, and then there was .msn. Is it, anyone remember this? There was .msn. And then there was America Online, and then there was Netscape, and there were probably some others I haven't mentioned. We had basically 4 different internets. We had AOL, Netscape, MSN, and the .com. You know, we had 4 different internets. And I remember MSN was like subscription based, and they thought that the internet was going to be like TV channels at the time, where, you know, some of you would use the .com, some of you would be on Netscape, and you couldn't access the whole internet. If you were, on MSN, you only had access to .msn sites. So President Trump and Mike Lindell, you can tell by the way they're brilliant. They may be starting an entirely new internet system, because Elon Musk has one. So Starlink. Yeah, it's called Starlink. Thank you. Rich just came in. Starlink. I thought that was it. I wasn't sure. But Starlink is Elon Musk's thing. That's satellite-based. So, believe me, President Trump and Mike Lindell know that these big super tech giants are going to be after them and try to block them like Parler. And they're thinking in all these different ways. Now, with all that being said, the best way you can help Mike Lindell with this is to go to MyPillow.com and do some Mother's Day shopping. Mother's Day is coming up. It's coming up quick. And when you go to MyPillow.com, there are incredible offers there, incredible deals for every mom on your Mother's Day gift-giving list. Mothers include your mother, your grandmother, your mother-in-law, and of course your wife and your daughter, if she's a mom, right? Yeah. These specials real quick that I know moms will love. Right at the top, the MyPillow My Slippers. They come in styles for both men and women, multiple styles, multiple colors, a brand new item at MyPillow.com, the MyPillow My Slippers. Mike Lindell says that they're the most comfortable slippers you will ever wear. I've asked my wife to order me a pair for my birthday, which is coming up. It's 40% off the MyPillow My Slippers with the promo code Kane. Every mom on your list would love those. The MyPillow Towel Set. Buy one set of MyPillow towels, get a second set free with the promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, plus free shipping. The MyPillow Mattress Topper. You hear us talk a lot about this. The MyPillow Mattress Topper, oh man, it turns your whole bed into a big MyPillow. Okay? And I promise you, the moms on your list, including your wife, will love it. The MyPillow Pet Bed. Oh yeah, for all those pet moms. My dog, my cat love the MyPillow Pet Bed. Just $19.99 with the promo code Kane at checkout. I'll just tell you about one more special. This is there's many other specials, not just the ones I've listed. Whatever special you see at MyPillow.com, you can take advantage of with the promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. Here's a great one. This is incredible. The MyPillow Mattress Bundle. It includes the MyPillow mattress. They have two different types of mattresses. They have coil MyPillow mattresses and foam MyPillow mattresses. And they come in all sizes, both mattress types, from twin all the way up to California King. So listen to this, the MyPillow Mattress Bundle. It includes the MyPillow mattress, 2 premium MyPillows, and a set of MyPillow 100% Giza Cotton Dream Sheets, 30% off with the promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. Great deals. And I promise you, the mom on your list will be very happy with these gifts. You can also order by phone. 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. All right, 2 hours down, 1 to go. We'll take our break for the top, and when we get back, we'll be joined by Steve Kane right after this. Don't go anywhere.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
This is Dr. Mitchell Matez of the Biostation.
Steve Kane Show.
Have you tried and tried to effectively
Oh, yeah.
but failed? Have you worked your tail off trying to build muscle?
Oh, okay. Oh, I got the mic down. Thank you. Thank you. I didn't put the mic back on. Now you can hear me. I put the mic down when I stepped away. Thank you.
At 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Now, I just had the microphone off. See, the headset, that's for the radio. And then I have this microphone that I use. See, you can hear it up close. This is the YouTube mic. And I clip it onto my shirt, and I stepped out, I guess, to go to the men's room or something, and I took it off and didn't put it back on. See, this is the radio mic.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve
Unbelievable.
Kane Show. To call
Great.
the show toll-free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE-1. And now, here's Steve Kane.
All right. Third and final hour has begun. I'm Brian. Steve Kane joining us. Hey, Steve, what's up? Oh. Oh, you're talking about the Mike, the Mike Lindell announcement. That's a big one. We got details, so that's good news. That's good. Well, for the first half of the show, I was going through the details of these slanders against Matt Gaetz, and it seems that MAGA is sticking together. Every caller that called into the show does not believe it, and they're standing with Matt Gaetz. Now,
I've been trying to follow this thing as best I can. A little confusing, but
no, I'm not confused at all. They're saying, there's a guy that he had some association with who was a tax collector in Seminole County here in Florida. He's sitting in jail awaiting trial on sex trafficking charges. And he is the source for all these slanders apparently against Matt Gaetz. And that Matt Gaetz paid for underage prostitutes with Apple Pay. Who don't people pay hookers with cash typically?
I'm not an expert in the field.
Well, yeah.
I would think so.
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah, and we're 4 days into the story, and they haven't produced any documents, any evidence, nothing.
Well, all I know is I tune around the dial and I listen to the Matt Gaetz story handled on other stations, and he definitely gets the best shake with you here.
Well, yeah. Fox News seems to be ticked off at Matt Gaetz to me. I've been watching their coverage this week, and it seems hostile.
Well, the thing that was from the very first appearance with Tucker, and Tucker was disturbed by something in the interview. Did you?
Well, he did. Matt Gaetz did two things during the interview that pissed off Tucker Carlson, and he's the top dog at Fox. He tried to bring him into the story twice. The first thing he did, he says, I'm not the only person on this screen who's been falsely accused of inappropriate sexual activity. And that pissed off Tucker Carlson. And then when Matt Gaetz was done talking, he says, you're referencing an allegation that was made against me 20 years ago by a viewer that I've never met. And that pissed him off. That pissed off Tucker Carlson. He did not appreciate that.
But that also would apply to Hannity, too. Hannity was trying to, pull a con job on Kennedy.
On Hannity, yeah, and it faded away. And then later in that interview, Matt Gaetz, he said, there was, I brought a lady friend of mine to a dinner with you and your wife. You'll remember her.
Not like that.
And
looking for support.
Yeah.
And it was like a nice.
And Tucker said, I don't remember that. I don't remember the incident. I don't remember the person.
Tucker was clearly disturbed by the question.
He was pissed. I don't know. Why would that... I guess he doesn't want people to think he's friends with members of Congress. I don't know.
It's probably not a plus being friends with this guy now. So, and the other thing that I'm sure pissed him, and I don't know this for a fact, but I'm guessing that he did it without checking with Tucker first.
Oh, no, he just threw it out there.
He sprung it on him. And...
yeah.
He probably would have preferred being given some options.
Yeah. Well, and I guess that was a live interview then. I'm assuming it was live.
With I've been watching Fox's. You got to get used to the whole thing. It's like a whole new different station. They appear to me, what I'm seeing so far, is they are keeping a conservative perspective. But I'll tell you one thing about Tucker, and I don't know if I'd be very interested if anybody else had this reaction. Tucker, I like Tucker's old show better than this new thing.
What do you mean? What's new? What's different?
What's different is he seems to be on more. He's on. It's a longer show. Or Tucker, an hour of Tucker was perfect. Tucker's always been long.
Oh, the other show, No. His show hasn't expanded. He's doing a separate show on the Fox app, that Fox Nation online app. He's doing a separate show. Yeah, that's what I think they're doing. He's not expanded on Fox itself on TV. He's doing this another show. They're desperate to get people to go to that Fox app and subscribe to it, you know. So they gave him a show over there. He's being overexposed.
I got tired of watching. I moved away. I moved to the other station.
Oh my goodness, Newsmax. Well, the Stitchfield's on against him. It's pretty good. The Fox News is trying to get their viewers back from Newsmax, right? They're hiring Lara Trump. They hired McEnany. You know, they're doing things to try to get their viewers back, and they're using Tucker more because he's number one. So they figure the MAGA people like him. So they're what they're doing. I think what you're seeing is something. They're doing a lot of. Tucker is commenting throughout the day on stories more than he used to. Like yesterday, Lester Holt said the media fairness is overrated. We don't have to give two sides. So they have Tucker on all afternoon responding to Lester Holt. They're using him. Yeah.
Too much Tucker. I mean, I was surprised when I reacted that way, but because I'd been looking forward to seeing more of Tucker. And a little of Tucker goes a...
Well, that Matt Gaetz interview, Tucker Carlson, I like Tucker Carlson, but he makes these weird faces during interviews, these strange facial expressions.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just he's it's a very heavy show. It's very cerebral, and it's a lot of work to stay focused on it all that time. And I was very surprised to find myself feeling that way.
Yeah.
I've been looking forward to it. I mean, look, let's face it. Tucker is a bit of an egghead. I mean, granted. And probably, once it settles in.
I'll tell you one thing you were right about the other day. This George Floyd trial is terminally boring, isn't it? Why is it so boring? It's a big, high-profile case.
It's a one-trick pony. I mean, once you've seen... in the beginning, they show you it's like you see the end, you see...
Of the movie.
At the beginning.
Yeah.
There's no suspense left. You've seen the climax in the first act, and...
Well, I think, yes. Usually in a high... I think I know. I'll try to say it in a different way. Usually, it's unusual in a trial to have multiple high-definition videos with sound from different angles of the killing. Usually, people kill in private, so they don't record it. Like if you O.J., Casey Anthony, the Trayvon Martin case. So you watch and follow the trial and the details and the mystery unfold. With this, we've been watching for like a year. From every different angle, we've seen everything, so there's no mystery to the trial. There's nothing to be uncovered. We've seen it, right? I mean, that's it.
In short, what you're saying is there's no suspense. Although there is, I mean, he could be acquitted. Town over there,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be walking around Minneapolis anytime.
Well, there was one interesting thing that at least I thought was interesting. Maybe nobody else did, but after George Floyd died, the Chauvin, the cop, went to his cruiser and they have video and audio of him calling his supervisor to tell him what happened, and it was very cold. He didn't really tell him what happened. He said they had an incident at their scene, and that they needed a supervisor and I guess some other investigators, but it was very, very strange. And the girlfriend, there was one guy, his friend, that wouldn't testify, who was there for the whole thing, and the girlfriend said because he's a drug dealer, they were high on fentanyl, and he's the dealer, and he doesn't want to testify.
Piece of work too.
Yeah. But the fentanyl would factor into the cause of death is what's important. If they can determine that the cause of death or prove the cause of death was the fentanyl, then he gets away with it, or he gets a lighter sentence.
There's one aspect of this, and I have not watched it wall to wall, but there's one aspect of this where I don't know whether to say that there's some suspense or whether to say it's confusing, but somewhere along the storyline here, it came out that the cop I've heard it talked about that
they worked at that the cop did an off-duty detail at a bar that
I haven't heard.
Not yet. Maybe it'll come up later. I haven't heard that either.
A bit of suspense for you.
I was watching. I couldn't believe what I saw on Hannity the other night. Oh my goodness! This was earlier this week. I forgot to tell you about this the other day. Hannity was giving his take on what happened on his TV show, and he is so pathetic. Hannity sometimes he's so insecure. One of the first witnesses was a guy who was on the sidewalk and witnessed it, and he testified that in the testimony it came up he knows a little bit about chokeholds because he's an MMA fighter, and they do chokeholds in that, and the defense was talking about the tapping out and all this stuff. Hannity's talking about this, and he says, well, I study kung fu. And he says, I'm not a master yet, but I'm a brown belt. And he was using his expertise as a kung fu artist. I couldn't believe. I thought it was a bit for a second.
Great Hannity roll your eyes moment.
Oh my goodness, it was so pathetic. I was embarrassed for him. I could hardly watch it. I felt embarrassed for him. Anyway.
I don't know if his mother, the mother was the prison guard that I used to listen to 3 times a week.
But this the George Floyd case, if they get a conviction on every serious count, right? If they get the dream conviction, do you think that means no violence? Or will there be violence no matter what the verdict is?
It's just speculation, but I would guess the more severe the finding is, there'll be an inverse relationship to the amount of violence. In other words, the more severe the sentence, the less violence.
But there'll be violence no matter what.
Well, it's a relative thing. There's violence and there's violence.
Yeah. They'll definitely be. Yeah, no matter what the verdict is, there'll be violence. It's just a matter of how much. Yeah. The mob will never be satisfied. And I'll tell you, another thing that's strange too is the defendant wearing the mask during the trial. I don't really think you get a fair trial that way, because when these trials happen, when I'm watching them, these high-profile trials on TV, you want to see the face of the defendant to see how they react to the testimony and everything, and you don't get to see. It's very weird.
They're doing that to
protect him from.
We're trying to protect him as best they can.
Yeah.
He's going to hide.
They're all wearing masks. And another thing too with the jury, when I'm wearing a mask, I don't know how this goes for you, okay, I don't wear them that often, but if I'm in a place where I've got to wear it for a while, I get irritable because I feel like I'm
oxygen.
Well, okay, yes. Everyone, including the jury and the judge, are wearing masks. Can Derek Chauvin get a fair trial about this I can't breathe case when the jury is frustrated that they can't breathe the entire trial? They've got to wear a mask. This guy's he's not getting a fair trial. I'm not defending Chauvin. But he's not getting a fair trial. The whole trial is about I can't breathe, and they got the jury who are very frustrated that they can't breathe in the masks. And that's got to tick them off. It makes me irritable when I'm wearing a mask for a long time because I can't breathe. I feel like I'm suffocating.
Irritable to wear it short term.
Oh my goodness, I know. All right, listen, let's take our first break of the last hour. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. We'll be back right after this. Don't go anywhere.
I've been telling you for years how great My Pillow products are, but don't just take my word for it. This is one of our listeners, Todd. He bought the My Pillow mattress topper, and he called us live on the radio to tell us about his experience with the My Pillow mattress topper.
Yeah, I'm calling to get testimonial about my pillow topper.
You ordered the My Pillow, the mattress topper?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, I was thinking about buying a new mattress because my old mattress was getting old. So my wife's like, why don't you try that pillow, that mattress top? I went on, I used your promo code Kane, I got a great price. Got it home. I've been using it for the last 3 nights. It's fantastic.
Oh, that's awesome.
It feels like a whole new mattress.
I talked to other listeners with the MyPillow mattress topper, and they come in all sizes. The mattress companies have turned into con artists. When I was a kid, mattresses were two-sided. You'd have the mattress, then after a while you'd flip it over. Now you can't flip mattresses anymore. They don't make them that way anymore because people weren't buying mattresses enough. So the mattress companies stopped making two-sided mattresses, and mattresses are expensive. I've had to buy a new mattress, and mattresses can cost well over, just for a regular normal mattress, over $1,000. So that MyPillow mattress topper is a big savings. It saved you from buying a new mattress and turned your whole bed into a MyPillow.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I really love it. I sleep really good.
Well, that's great. Well, I appreciate that. You guys out there, remember, promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. Now, when you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com, save 30% off your MyPillow mattress topper and receive 2 free MyPillows. But you got to use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper. Turn your old mattress into a big MyPillow mattress. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
This is Dr. Matez from the BioStation West Delray. The BioStation is America's premier age management solution due to the extensive array of options available. At the BioStation, we take your health seriously. Our men's health program is doctor supervised with multiple options to treat erectile dysfunction and low testosterone. Erectile dysfunction may be a sign of a more serious issue, and our medical team can help you get to the root cause. Let us help you get to the source of the issues that are holding you back from leading a fulfilling life. If any degree of erectile dysfunction is holding you back, call me immediately at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Listen to the Steve Show on iHeartRadio.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian, Steve Kane. And, yeah, Hunter gave an interview. Hunter Biden, in this new interview, reveals that Joe chased him down the driveway and sobbed as he begged him to give up drugs while staging an intervention last year during the campaign. Now, Joe Biden's not running anywhere, okay? Certainly not last year or this year, okay? A long time ago, maybe he could run, but this idea that, do you see Joe Biden running down the driveway in tears? Give up the drugs, Hunter. Give them up. I'm running. Come on. What a bunch of BS. What a bunch of BS. You know, this story, though, Maggie, I wanted to get your thoughts on some of this, okay? They say that unnamed members of Congress have told CNN. Every source is a liberal source, and then they don't want to, and the liberal media don't want to name the people that talk to them. But CNN has reported that multiple unnamed members of Congress say that Matt Gaetz on the floor of the House of Representatives was showing naked photographs and videos of young girls to them and saying that he had had sex with them. Do you see that Matt Gaetz doing that?
No.
That's crazy.
No, it's, guilt by innuendo and perjury.
Yeah. I mean, if he was doing that as a Republican, that would have leaked out long ago. I don't see that happening at all, and I find it interesting. The one story comes from New York Times, the other one from CNN, and all the sources are unnamed. Not one named source, except the guy who's awaiting trial on sex trafficking in prison. Other than him, there's not one named source. And then here's the big one. It says here, Matt Gaetz paid women via Apple Pay, which is like paying on a credit card, for ecstasy-fueled sex at Florida hotels after being introduced to them by former tax collector Joel Greenberg, who met them on a sugar daddy website. And this is where the 17-year-old girl comes in. The 17-year-old girl is at least 19 years old now, because this happened a while back. She might even be 20 by this point. We haven't seen the girl. We haven't seen an interview. We haven't seen a photograph of the girl. I'm talking about the girl today. I don't mean like with Matt Gaetz. No. This is Russian Dossier 2. What do you think? Yeah. Yeah.
The whole thing just doesn't hold together.
Well, one of our callers, they did this with I forgot his name now. Who's the congressman from Ohio that never wears a jacket? He's always got a shirt and tie on but no jacket. You know what I'm talking about? He's on TV all the time. They did this with him. They said when he was a wrestling coach at Ohio State that he was involved with. They used boys because it was wrestling, college guys. But this is girls, but that was boys. And he did the same thing that Matt Gaetz did. He went on Fox immediately and said none of them were true and challenged them, just like Matt Gaetz did. I think Matt Gaetz coming forward so fast also shows that he's telling the truth. If there was any truth to this whatsoever, I don't think he would have gone on Tucker that fast. I don't think so. That's I don't know. Is that what a guilty person would do? D 499 super chat. Thank you. Mike Lindell, the Frank app will launch the week of April 12th. Yeah.
I tend not to believe it.
Oh, I got an update on Mike Lindell's social media platform. One of our listeners in the chat room, D, Mike Lindell announced that his social media network will launch the week of April 12th. Oh, that's new information to me. April 12th, it's 10 days from now. I'm going to be on it. We're going to get on it as soon as we can. And I'm going to try to get on it on day one, and we'll be like the launch of the Mike Lindell social media app. But I when that app goes online, these tech companies and the left are going to do everything to shut it down. It's not going to be that easy. They're not just going to say, okay, Mike Lindell's app's here. They're going to fight him every step of the way. They don't want to have alternative voices.
Experience has just been, and what it's really done, the most damage in my psyche is what it's done to my view of the justice system. I mean, there is no justice. And even the couple people that I liked going in, like Barr and that I looked to save the day, they were all helpless at just this.
Oh, and that Durham we had all our hope in that Durham thing, and that and what happened to Durham? I mean, we know where Hunter is now. Does anybody know where John Durham is? Where's Durham?
Hunter, of course, is the greatest example of failure of the system.
Yeah. And this rehabilitation tour they're trying to do with Hunter, they must really have some bad polling data about the corruption with Hunter Biden if they're sending him out on interviews, because when somebody is an addict like that, putting them out on interviews is risky. You don't know, he could show up plastered. He could say anything. You don't know. It's an unpredictable thing. But this what they're doing with Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz is the most prominent pro-Trump person in the entire Congress, and they're trying to take him down. It's Trump's draining the swamp of rhinos, but the rhinos are trying to drain the Congress of Trump. Yeah, MAGA. Yesterday, there's a story today that Trump is meeting with a big campaign manager, the same campaign manager that got Rick Scott reelected and Ron DeSantis elected here in Florida, that he's meeting with this top campaign person at Mar-a-Lago this weekend, maybe today, and there's speculation he's going to hire her to be his campaign manager for 2024. So that... Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think for the whole country at this point. Listen, let's take our break for the bottom of the hour. When we come back, there's a lot more to talk about. I'm Brian. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll be right back after this.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are State of Florida certified roofing and general contractors, focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows.
Nobody, $5 super sticker, nobody. Thank you so much.
Stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Hurricane season is right around the corner. This gives us only a short period of time to make sure your roof and home is ready for the 2021 hurricane season. So don't delay and call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Our website is www.laportacontracting.com. where you will find our latest video and live testimonials from a few of our past clients. Our number again is 954-604-4602.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone at 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just...
All right, we are back. I'm Brian Craig, Steve Kane here. This is the Steve Kane Show. By the way, Friendly Tire open on Saturdays. Friendly Tire in Margate. I was actually by there yesterday. I did not know this. My well, I kind of knew, but forgot about it. My daughter's car did not come with a spare, so I went out and bought her a rim, and went over to Friendly Tire and bought her a tire for a spare tire. Can't drive around without a spare. But when I was over at Friendly Tire yesterday afternoon, I ran into a listener named Steve, just like you. Doesn't look like you though. Looks much different than you. Had a big beard, kind of like a ZZ Top kind of thing going on. Nice guy. But he was a big Rush listener. And he said since Rush is gone, he hasn't listened to that time slot. And I tuned in yesterday. They had a fill-in host. I didn't quite catch the name, you know. And here we are weeks and weeks later. There's no announcement, no change. To me, it seems like they're writing that off.
I don't know what they're doing, but that's not so bad. I don't think. Bad part is I don't think they know what they're doing.
Oh my goodness.
Try to put together a coherent argument. But
no, there's nothing.
It still affects me the same way. It makes me sad. I feel like I lost. Even though Rush and I were on a personal basis didn't have a friendship in that sense, but he was a part of my life, and I miss him. And they've got to make this break at some point.
It's ridiculous. I mean, it's enough. There's, you know, I read an article today. I think it was in Vanity Fair, and they said there's a bunch of sharks circling around trying to replace him. The name at the top of the list was Ben Shapiro.
They can't be that stupid.
Oh. You never know. I never underestimate people. But, you know, the loss, it's bad enough losing Rush and his importance is a big loss for the whole conservative movement. If they don't get someone in there that's competent and quick, they're never going to recover any of that audience. It's what they're doing is it's almost like a purge going on over there by not doing anything. And that time slot, no matter who's in there, if they're competent and good, not like Ben Shapiro who's unlikable. I mean, I agree with Ben Shapiro a lot, but he's just not likable. I mean, you know, I can't stand the guy. They got to get somebody in there. Or it's going to be gone. It's I think it does a dishonor to Rush to write all that off. I mean, it's like his whole legacy over there.
I don't know what they're doing, but
yeah.
But it's consistent because they don't know what they're doing.
I guess so.
Radio stations too.
Yeah.
Which was the one that all the choices were made by a consultant that they brought in from the.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I remember the name of the consultant and the name of the station we were on. It was when we were on 940 Super Talk. Super Talk. Yeah, and it was Walter Sabo.
And they just had no idea what they were doing.
Yeah, there's some. Yeah. Well, somebody like that's running this new Rush thing. I mean, nothing against these fill-in hosts, because I know a lot of them have shows in their markets, and they're probably been around for a while, and they're good, but they're not at the level. I mean, they should.
Who's going to be at the level?
Yeah, I told you, Bill O'Reilly. You can get Bill O'Reilly in there. Eric Bowling. Get some names. There's a lot of talent out there that are not working. But you know what I mean. Get anybody in there. Well, they better. Because that's a big loss. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
2 weeks ago that it was Dan Bongino.
No, that's not true. Dan Bongino made a deal with a syndicator company, not the EIB network, that have a handful of stations that carried Rush, and on a small handful of stations, Bongino's going to be on in that Rush slot, but that's just a few stations, not the hundreds and hundreds of stations. No, I know Bongino and his people are promoting it that way, but I've been listening to Bongino's podcast for a couple of years, and it's okay, but he's not a talk radio host. It's there's no analysis. There's nothing fresh and interesting that not anybody else would know. Matt Gaetz, I don't believe it. I can't believe that. The real news was the Drudge Report, and and the Drudge Report's been liberal for a while, and a lot of people believe that Matt Drudge has sold it to some left-wing interest. And I used to go to the Drudge Report like 5-10 times a day, and now I go there once a month, maybe, and I just went there during the last break. They have Matt Gaetz, and here headline: Sugar Daddy, Gaetz probe for pay sex. Here's the next one: MAGA hero in mega mess. Next one: he tripped on ecstasy. Is Gaetz a sex trafficker? That's boom, 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 right down the. Those are just slanders. And what they do, you can tell liberals are running this. What happens with this is what liberals do in the media. They know most people won't read beyond the headline, so they read the headline. That's it, and that's probably about 70 to 80%, right? And then out of the 20 or 30% that are left, if they click it to read the article, they'll read the first paragraph and not beyond. This entire story with Matt Gaetz is coming from a guy. You're going to see a picture of him with this guy today. They got a photograph of Matt Gaetz, Roger Stone, and this guy that's in jail awaiting trial on sex trafficking. Everything is coming from this guy that's awaiting sex trafficking trial. So here he is facing trial. He's trying to make a deal. He's got a famous friend, and he's throwing things out to try to cut a deal because he figures they'd much rather have this famous guy, this famous MAGA Trump guy, than him. And I don't see any of that mentioned in any of these headlines, and it's really unfortunate and it's sad, and it's so important for people to stand up for Matt Gaetz.
Let's take some calls.
All right, our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1 888-465-2631. It's toll-free call 1-888-465-2631. Good morning. You're on the air.
Hi, Brian. It's Rolanda.
Hey, Rolanda. How you doing?
Steve.
Hey, Rolanda. How you doing, dear?
All right, yourself. Listen, I was listening at, you were talking about Matt Gaetz at the beginning. The only way I can see that the liberals took liberties with a lot of these stories, I don't know how, I know he's a part of MAGA and everything, and he's basically a spokesman.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe they took a look at his maybe he conducts himself in such a way that it lends itself to these stories. Could that have been a possibility?
Well, he's okay. Here's the thing with Matt Gaetz, because I follow Matt. I know him a little bit. Matt Gaetz, he's engaged now, but that's recent. Okay, and you notice his fiance is much younger than him too. But he's been a single guy who's dated a lot of women. And he travels around a lot, and he's got a lot of celebrity friends, including President Trump, and he would take dates and things to Trump events and other things. You know, so he does fly around and stay in hotel rooms with women that he's dating. That's a single guy, young single guy. That's what they do.
And that is the conduct. But a lot of this stuff, for example, when they say he takes pictures and show them to a member of Congress.
I don't believe that. No.
Stupid person would do that. Oh,
I cannot believe that. I cannot believe that.
But you can see there's a lot of room for interpretation in a statement like that. For example, man, I know a lot of people that, you know, guys, when maybe they're a little insecure, and when they're going out or have a relationship with an attractive woman, they're always showing everybody their pictures. Doesn't mean they're naked or sex pictures. Yeah. Just say, you know, this is the lady I'm dating now, and she's cute.
Well, they specifically said on CNN that they were nude, and he said he had sex with them. Unnamed members of Congress.
That's ridiculous. But listen, Brian, I don't think that Bill O'Reilly, you said would probably be great in Russia's, I guess, time slot. I don't think Bill O'Reilly wants to come behind Rush Limbaugh.
Well,
he's got too much.
Well, when we talked about this a couple weeks back, excuse me, a couple listeners messaged me and said that Rush hated Bill O'Reilly, and that in that Ted Baxter reference he used to make on the air was Bill O'Reilly. I was not aware of that. But that's what some listeners told me. I don't know. So you know, so that means that who was ever over there probably doesn't want him around either. But he certainly would be a lot better than these no names from KW whatever out of Sacramento that they put in there. I mean, it's, you know.
You need someone there, young, dynamic, who can fill in, because this legacy thing is just not going to work. It's not. I'm sorry.
Well, there's a lot of first off, we don't know. There's a lot of politics involved, and we don't know. Reporters don't report, and there's all kinds of stories out there, and reporters don't want to find out anything. You know, we don't know what the deal is with his past. Who owns the EIB network? Who owns that? Does his wife have a big ownership stake or not?
I have a strange feeling that a lot of this is probably her, because we females tend to do that. I had an aunt that when my uncle passed away, she didn't want him even interned. She wanted the director to go longer with the funeral. She wanted to have the route that they were driving to keep going, that kind of thing. This sounds like something maybe a woman would be behind.
Oh, you mean because it doesn't make sense and it's like chaotic?
This is chaotic. It doesn't sound, coordinated. It doesn't sound like there's perpetuity to it, and I didn't realize Catherine. I don't know if Rush.
We don't know.
Had her.
Yolanda Goodson.
All right. Okay. Yeah, we don't know. We don't know.
Break. If my clock is right, is my clock?
You're a little early, but that's okay. We can take it down.
We'll be back. We'll be back right after this.
That you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Do you think you've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife Lori did, and she went to Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs to find out if she has coronavirus.
So I came into contact with somebody who tested positive for COVID, and I was scared, and I needed results right away, so I went to Any Lab Test Now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours and have a swab stuck down my nose into my brain. It was very pleasant. I made an appointment. They got me in within the hour. I was out of there within 20 minutes. Thank goodness the test was negative, and I can go back to work tomorrow. They also tested me for the antibodies, and I haven't been exposed. So do what I did. Go over to Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. They give great rates for Steve Kane listeners, and tell them we sent you.
It's worth 15 minutes of your time to have peace of mind and know that you and your family are safe. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. You can call call them at 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza, where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. Steve Kane radio listeners love Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca.
I went over to a Champagne Automotive, and I got to say,
Unbelievable.
This man is the most fair mechanic I have dealt with
Yeah,
in my
okay.
entire life. We took a car over there that was not being used.
Hey there, hold on.
You know, it belonged to my 90-year-old dad. Everybody I had taken this to before was charging an astronomical amount of money. But when we took it over there, Eddie took a look at it, and I got to say that this man fixed the car. It's running like a charm. Anybody that needs a mechanic,
I got some more details on the photos that they say that Matt Gaetz showed around.
Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca will never do a repair on your car that your car doesn't need. And their prices are low. Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca. Give them a call. 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All right, and we are back. It's time to check in with William Youngerman with the Gold Report. William Youngerman, good morning.
Good morning, Brian. How you doing?
Great. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Hey, William, how you doing?
We are giving you the report as to what's going on in the markets today. Not gold and silver and all them being closed. We saw a good rally in the precious metals after hitting a triple bottom this last week, and then bouncing off that, rallying some over $60 for gold alone, and silver rallying back up over up to $25 again. We may have seen what we call as a real reversal in this downside that we've been experiencing, and I'm proud to say that the Steve Kane listeners have been right in there buying these ships, and may have caught that sort of dip down to the bottom area, which should give us good buying action going forward. Yesterday we saw gold close up another $22 at $1,730.80 when you consider that we were down this week at one point just around $1,670. Silver gained 51 cents yesterday, closing at $24.92. Platinum was up $26 at $1,206, and palladium gained $46 at $2,586 the ounce. Gold is over $60 so far for the week. March jobs report came out this morning of 916,000 unemployment down 2%. And the market going forward, we would anticipate a continued rally. Resistance for gold will probably be up somewhere around that $1,755. If we break through the $1,755 number, possibly even next week, we could see a rally that could take us up towards $1,900 on gold again. So that being said, again, continue to buy the dip in a market that I think is poised to go much higher before the end of the year.
Yeah, and William Youngerman opens up weekdays at 10. You can call them over there at 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. Online, WilliamYoungerman.com. And located right here in Boca at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, just east of US 1 Federal Highway, on the south side of Palmetto Park Road, on the first floor of the Bank of America building. All right, William Youngerman, we will talk on Monday.
Okay, also, Brian,
yep.
Part of the day, so
oh.
if you're doing anything, please call before you come.
Oh, because it is Good Friday. I forgot it was Good Friday because, you know, we work on holidays here. But, yeah, that's right. So give them a call ahead. All right, William, we're going to have a great Easter.
Thank you.
All right, take care. You back with us, Steve? Okay, I lost you there for a second. Okay, I got two things here. One, I got a little more detail on Matt Gaetz, which I want to share. And then Ron DeSantis is doing something amazing. But listen to this. Okay, this is on the photographs that they're about Matt Gaetz. I got some more detail. Okay, this is at CNN. Matt Gaetz allegedly showed off to other lawmakers photos and videos of nude women he said he had slept with. The sources told CNN, including while on the House floor. The sources, which no names, of course, including 2 people directly shown the material, said Gaetz displayed the images of women on his phone and talked about having sex with them. Now, here's where we get some more detail. One of the videos, this is ridiculous. One of the videos showed a naked woman with a hula hoop around her, according to a source. What is this, the 50s? I mean, who's got a hula hoop anymore? Very bizarre. I call BS on all these stories, all of them. I mean, that's a strange a hula hoop? If it was like 1960, maybe, but do they even make hula hoops anymore? Now, Ron DeSantis is doing something amazing. Did you see this new thing about the illegals with DeSantis? No. Oh, my goodness. Ron DeSantis has unleashed a new directive to state authorities. Let me tell you, the Democrats hate him. Florida's doing well. We're completely open. The economy is booming. We've had no outbreaks. We have the Disney World open. We've had the Super Bowl. We've had CPAC. We've had no outbreaks. Spring break, I haven't heard of any outbreaks, with that either. And he just continues to embarrass the Biden. Listen to this. This is in Breitbart. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is demanding that President Joe Biden stop releasing criminal illegal aliens. Well, okay, we're all demanding that. But then he did this. Governor Ron DeSantis is directing state agencies to notify local law enforcement every time a criminal illegal alien is released in their community as a result of Biden's sanctuary country orders. And he announced this at a speech with the Angel families yesterday. The Angel families are people who have lost family members whose lives were taken by illegal people. So this is an unheard of new move that I don't think he's declared. First off, he's declared that Joe Biden has made America a sanctuary country. And if you notice that it's true, one of the first things Ron DeSantis did when he became governor was clamp down on the sanctuary cities in Florida. Orlando was a sanctuary city, so he cut them off. There are no sanctuary cities in Florida any longer. Miami, Orlando, no more. And this is the second time this week that Ron DeSantis has taken a high-profile step against something Biden's doing, right? This is big because they don't like when governors do this, arrest illegals, because they say that's the federal government. But a lot of them have records. And then the other day, Ron DeSantis said he's signing an executive order forbidding COVID passports in Florida. So, he is if it weren't for Trump, I'd say he's running for president because he's acting like a governor running for president. I mean, he's challenging Biden at every turn. And the side he's taking, most people agree with, right? You can't have criminal people walk in the street, so he ordered the state to arrest them, and locals to arrest, and then no COVID passports. That's huge. No, I mean that's amazing. And believe me, if you watch the national media, they're obsessing over Ron DeSantis, literally obsessing over him. This is great. We do. Our number, 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. That's our number if you want to call in. It's a toll-free call, no matter where you're listening to us from. And we got a minute or two. We may be able to squeeze in a call or two. But Ron DeSantis, believe me, they're investigating They're trying to find some dirt on Ron DeSantis because he's embarrassing the Biden administration at every turn. I mean, if you look at everything he's doing, he's challenging them. He's doing it publicly. It's high profile, and he's challenging Biden on like his top things: COVID passport and the border. No one else is doing it. He's definitely got to be running for president. All right, listen, it's time to check in with Richard Pearl. Speaking of calls, host of Richard Pearl on Politics, which follows the Steve Kane Show weekdays at 9. Hey, Richard Pearl, good morning.
I am good. It's nice to hear you're both here on Easter Friday or
Good Friday.
I stopped to see you yesterday, but you were not.
It's by a friend of mine, Renard, who actually has. I look through the book every day. I just flip to a page. It's fascinating, and he gave books for both of you. So you got to come down to the store, and I'll give it to you, Steve, and you can give it to Brian, the other one.
That sounds great.
It's a really good book. It's just when you have a moment, you flip through it. It gives you something kind of like peace of mind, and it's interesting. It's inspirational a little bit.
So what do you have in store on your show for us today?
Yeah, I was just going to say, well, I'm going to go a little lighter. I'm not going to be so intense today, although I will obviously go there.
Well, light for you is intense by other standards. So I wouldn't say you're not going to be intense. You're just not going to be intense by your normal standard.
That's true. I'm also going to talk about Howard Schnellenberger. You know, he died last. And I'm really great friends with one of his sons. I was usher at the wedding. And I just want to start off, acknowledging what he did to the community or for the community. And even though it's a week later, I want to talk a little about that. I'm going to talk about the markets as well. And we'll, of course, we'll get into political. I'll probably get into some nutritional aspects of things. And probably about the vaccine if we have time. But there's so much to cover. And the news is so quick. And in many cases, so disturbing. I mean, you do it every day. And I get all the calls from people who listen to your show and say, I heard this on the Steve Kane show. Brian said this. Steve said that. And,
They're ratting us out. They're telling on us.
Well, they recite your words. I mean, you guys cover a lot of important subjects, and you have the pulse of South Florida. There's a lot of people. One of the things I've noticed with your show and my show as well, there's a lot of black listeners. There are a lot of conservative black listeners.
Oh, yeah.
Male and female. And they love what you're saying. They love what I'm talking about. And
Yeah.
it's extraordinary the dedication they have to the show.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Richard Pearl actually does two shows. Monday through Friday, you can catch Richard Pearl on his political show, Richard Pearl on Politics, right here on this radio station. It's from 9 to 10, immediately following us. And then on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday at noon, is his health show, where he talks about all the nutraceuticals that he carries at Simply Natural. That show is different, and it's very interesting as well. It's called Pearls of Health. And that's noon on this radio station as well. So Richard Pearl, you can give his store a call if you want to rat Steve and I out at 9, or check out his supplements too. You can call over there at 954-741-4045. 954-741-4045. His store, Simply Natural, is in Sunrise, just north of Sunset Strip on the east side of University, and is open 7 days a week, 11 to 9. All right, Richard, have a great show. We'll be tuned in. All right. Have a great Easter. All right, we got a full board of calls and just about 2 minutes left. So I'm going to go to the phones. So you guys, and they're all screenless, so I don't know who's on the line. But get to the point quick, because we're almost out of time. You're on the air. Good morning.
Ron, I just wanted to wish you a happy holiday coming up. And I heard that you're having a.
No, I'm not doing it. No, not on Sunday's Easter. No one's doing anything on Easter except hunting eggs. No, said we'll be back Monday. All right, I'm so glad we take these last calls. Good morning. I'm not working on Sunday. Good morning, you're on the air. Easter Sunday? Yeah, we'll be live on Christmas too. Good morning, yeah. Yeah.
The sitting duck. There's people that hate you. And then Ron DeSantis, he should call a press conference when he releases those prisoners that should be deported.
Yeah.
Telling the sheriff.
Okay, I appreciate that. I appreciate the advice. I have an electric scooter that he's talking about. I guess he's seen me ride it somewhere. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Good morning.
Hey, Wheezy. Wheezy, we got about a minute left. You'll be the last call of the week.
Okay, I just wanted to say, I'm wondering how come you're saying that the stats in Florida is okay when the stats in Florida is high for COVID.
Okay, I'll tell you real quick. In fact, COVID positive rates are up in Florida, right? They're up in Florida. But but there's a rest of the sentence. Okay? But hospitalizations and deaths are down.
Doesn't count.
Oh, deaths don't count, Steve. Dead people, you don't count. No. She doesn't count. Exactly. We're all out of time, Wheezy. I wish you'd have called earlier. You dead. The dead don't count. That's Wheezy. Perfect way to end the show. Dead people don't count. Oh my goodness. All right, you want to sign us off for the week?
We're about to take our long weekend, and we will look forward to seeing you, I guess, Monday, right?
Yes.
The show's on all weekend.
Monday. Oh, the overnight rebroadcast. Yeah, you can. Yeah.
But we invite you to return on Monday. We will definitely be here. And until then, on behalf of my wonderful son and technical director, Tyler Kane, Brian Craig, my left and right hand, and of course, I am yours truly, Steve Kane. Until Monday, God bless America.
Covered AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Oh my goodness, Wheezy's call was great. The dead people don't count. Yeah, it's like Cuomo in New York with the nursing homes, right? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Now, if you're new here, make sure you're subscribed. And everybody in there, before you go, please like the video if you've not already done it. Like the video and share it on at least one of your social media platforms. That would be spectacular. Hold on. I'm turning off our phones over to our when we're not on the air, I turn our voicemail on. So if you call our call-in number when we're not on the air, you'll get our voicemail, and people leave us messages all the time. All right, guys, listen. I got to run, but I'll see you later. I got a new podcast coming later, so check that out. I'll see you guys. All right, thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to like the video.